Wow.
Well, hello, guys. How's it going?
Awesome.
Another episode of Friday Night Bricks. We're at 2:36. And unfortunately, I don't think, Go Boys, we're going to have a live update from Brickfest Live in Colorado. But you know what? Hopefully next week we'll get some pictures. So, but
yeah. What is it? Too early? Too late? It's earlier there.
Yeah. So
who knows?
So for me this week, I'm gonna start. I got packages I'm gonna open, and then maybe do some sorting. Maybe
I'll have some brick stuff coming to me by next week.
Oh, I actually kind of like that. Jessica, what are you kind of working on?
I got some sorting to put away, but I think I'm gonna go Vikings.
Ooh.
So I got a Viking ship. It's got to be put together. I've been doing, a lot of D&D stuff, and the Vikings could be part of the clan and some adventuring, some random NPCs or something. So
I looked at a couple of things last night, jumped into the ideas. Look kind of cool. With a couple days left, I don't think I'm going to have a chance to build that up. So. And TJ, what are you going to be working on tonight?
I'm just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'm still at school, so nothing really to do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the one package that could have my next Larry fig in it. There's Larry Alter Ego fig. We'll see. Everybody's been getting their orders. Mine finally got here. Didn't show any promise for a while, so I was thinking maybe I was one of the orders that was waiting for somebody to return something. So we got Dino Dudes 2. Except, there he is. I was like, I'm missing the most important one in the whole thing. Because it wouldn't be a party without Rex Pool.
Hello, dude, Jude.
Hey, dude, Jude. Let's see here. And actually, I have
what's in the bag.
So I got a Rex Pool.
Last week, I don't remember if I mentioned it or not, but I made yet another custom clone order.
Ooh.
And it finally shipped yesterday, I think. Yesterday or today. And it will be arriving at my house on Monday. So it's, I think, the third or fourth order that I've made. And I'm going to go home. Set all those up.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Continuing to grow the clone army.
It's a Rex Pool using a dark red, like a dark red head in there. But the head, whoa.
Show us.
Actually,
show it again, Reed.
Wow, actually, they did say that the legs and some of the stuff don't generally. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. How do I do this again?
Is this Crazy Arm stuff? Where is this from?
Yeah, it's the crazy brick stuff. I can't remember how this goes on here again.
I got to put a couple things away.
I can't remember. How did this? Oh, but it actually has a weird head in there. It's not a Deadpool head, but
that's a Chima head, I think.
Chima. Well, it looks like a Chima head, but I mean, it looks kind of almost a little bit too dark red for that. But I'm trying to remember what order I just had recently that actually had because I had a couple heads, couple Deadpool heads that came in another order, but I don't know where they went to. I don't know what order they were in. They were in something. I don't know where they went to. Oh, maybe they're in here. Oh, they're in my Badger head order that I got.
No, it's a Chima head. I just found a
Oh,
dark red.
I know, but
yeah.
But when I ordered those other heads, those other helmets, those Spunk helmets, I ordered a couple of Deadpool heads, so I'd have. So if I wanted to, which actually might look a little weird because it'll be a really bright head here with a. Yeah, see these guys are kind of loose. Looks like this production maybe had some.
Hello, Mayo.
So I could do that. I could do that and actually give them a double head. So, but yes, I'm trying. I did the new dynos. I did some legs. It looks like. Oh, I did the new. I don't know what this is. Just kind of a small dinosaur baby thing. Dino Dudes 2 Brick.
What's up, Macro?
Got Macro and Mayo in the house.
Macro and Mayo and Dude Jude all watching.
What? Why do I have blue? I thought I had purple Dino Dudes too. Interesting. I need to look at this because
Gotta put some stuff away before I take some more out. Well, let's save some for later.
I could have sworn I would have done purple. Why would I do blue? Interesting. I can check and see. I need to check and see what I did. Blue just doesn't seem like my color. So I'm gonna look at this real quick. TJ keeps us entertained.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, supposedly, did either of you guys order the doodle book from Hinkle? Because that supposedly started arriving today.
Yeah. I got one. That'll be cool to get. Three and one. What the heck is in here? Flex tube kinds of things. It's a big bag Lego. Trying to save the environment. Just that's in there. Flex tube.
Oh, those. Oh, yeah, those are good for trees.
That's a lot of flex tube.
Yeah, there's like 2, 4, 6, 7.
Well, is maybe
it's
one
not,
of those is an
it's
extra.
not flex tube. It's the.
What's the set number on that?
Vikings. 31132.
I think we had them on Lug Bulk one of the years in a brown or something. I used them for I tried to make my weeping willow tree using those, which is pretty cool. Neat piece.
Yeah, one of those is an extra. And I take it you're building the primary model, Jesse?
Yeah, the ship. I like the village, the house, of course, but like this I don't know, this would go good in a D&D campaign. But the ship, I'm sure, uses most.
We have until Monday at 6 a.m. to submit any more of those, right?
The D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14th. So I hope Larry finishes all there.
Well, he had to have it finished for this weekend, didn't he?
I think he wanted it finished for the show, yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him. Well, I haven't been online too much here, but I haven't seen him post it.
I don't think I've seen it on Instagram, but I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check ideas, see what's been submitted. Yeah, there's 2 days left.
Yeah, I looked at some of the other things. There's probably like 50 different.
Okay, so that's that. I guess I'm gonna have to find out if that's what I ordered. Let him in. Better let him
in. Sorry, I'm in. TJ.
Now we can't kick him out.
Hello.
So
hi, Jesse, as well. I'm glad TJ's here.
How's Mark?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
We're here.
Yeah.
We's here.
That's good. Can I hide my view because I look insane?
Stop your camera.
Yeah, you can turn your camera off.
Just turn the camera.
I don't mind if you guys see me. I just want to look at myself.
Well,
like, is there like a Zoom-like feature where I can like not see myself, but
not see yourself.
I forgot about this. I ordered these. These are kind of cool. I don't know how I ended up getting linked over to Etsy, but I found these. Hold on. These are pretty cool, even though I don't know if I have a big use for them, but somebody had actually designed a bunch of the old like sets. It's all big screen there. So they've actually made a bunch of like the sets and tiles.
Ah.
What's in the lower right corner of your screen there? The lower right corner of your screen.
Oh.
What is that?
That's when we were building the studio for Brick World Chicago. Probably what was that year? What year did they do that? 2019 or 2018? Remember the studio that
the Duplo studio? Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's that because the bar, I think I kind of avoided that one. So
yeah.
But these are pretty cool tiles. So I mean, in the end, you got like, you got a monorail.
Oh, have you guys already talked about? I'm a little bit late, and this was 5 minutes ago. Did you guys already talk about Steve's cat?
Who?
We have someone.
No, we didn't talk about Steve's cat yet.
Someone's losing their.
Yeah.
Someone's losing their little fur companion. That's very, very sad. But it's like, so we have these animals in our lives, right? This is my philosophy. And we have them for such a short time compared to like all the humans we have in our lives. And it's like for Steve, I would say thank you for loving your cat and thank you for loving an animal and giving Thor, I'm going to assume is a boy. He, like a happy, safe, joyful life every day of his life. He had the perfect life because he had a human who loved him. So very, very sorry for what is about to happen to you. But you're an amazing person because you loved an animal. So thank you. What is this? Another death episode, you guys?
Hope not.
Circle of life.
Circle of life. Someone's gonna eat the cat. Jesse.
There's a comment.
No,
Num num num.
Macro said circle of life
Oh,
sucks.
someone said it.
Might be the mice. The mice will get the cat. So
Thor's a great name for a cat, by the way. Turns out my dog is a mouser.
Mm.
On the dead mouse in the backyard this morning.
I got him in the basement. I think I've killed 8 or 9 in the last week or so. I bought different traps.
What kind do you use?
I'm using like where did that thing went? I'm using a white plastic one that I picked up at Home Depot. Just the Tomcat one. So they're just they're a little flip one. So they're a little flip one. So they just kind of
good.
So they close, and then you just kind of close, push it together to drop the head, and then when you do that, it'll actually reset the trap. So
Okay.
I used chunky peanut butter, and I haven't even had to put new peanut butter in the traps. It's just been. But I did hear him the other night. And I look over there and I'm like, what the heck? Why is he? And I see him. I've been seeing him a couple times. I'm like, I caught one in a live trap, but I couldn't get him outside fast enough. I think he passed in that, so that kind of sucked. But
I was gonna say thank you for not using glue traps, because those are the.
I did. We used them for a while, but they're just. Problem is they just too much of a mess. So I went to these guys, and these guys are pretty good. I do have a couple live traps, like small ones. I wanted the big metal one. I wanted the Ritz, but I got the sublet that holds 4, and I got one in there the other night, but I didn't get him out to wherever. I was going to take him on my one day I drive, and I don't think he made it. That or the cold got to him, because I put it in the bag, put it in my car, went to the park near work, and by the time I tried to drop him out, he just didn't move, so I just chucked the trap. I got a live trap sitting over here behind me, because I see him running around. I'm like, what? I heard him up there for a while, up on the false ceiling, and it's like, man, we got him again. And I could have sworn I closed off the one entrance, so there must be another one up there, or they never left. I mean, there's a nest somewhere. So, but
I love it. I love we're talking about these humane traps. So I swear, the live mouse traps. You can take them off to a forest preserve, which is what we have. We have a forest preserve district in Illinois. I don't know if that's like a statewide thing, or if everybody has forest preserves, you call them something different. I swear to God, they're back like 3 days later, where they're like, "Hey, why'd you take me so far? You know, I had to get home."
So I bought these off of Etsy. So these are kind of cool. I have a couple of those sets.
Sir,
Or did. I had that Eiffel Tower, and then I saw the new Eiffel Tower, that leaked image, and I'm like, oh my god.
There's a leaked image of an Eiffel Tower. Can we share it on the show?
TJ.
Okay, so
TJ, our resident hunter,
TJ, our resident person who knows how to use the internet, can find.
No, just he's quicker at it than me. I'm still trying to, close down my window from sharing.
I'm building.
No, I mean this picture. I mean, supposedly it's. I mean, it doesn't. I can't get it closer to see how tall it is. 10,000 parts. I mean,
10,001.
Yeah, 10,001 parts. That's probably the best.
Fact, please. Thanks, Jesse.
No, that was me.
Huge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot there was a face. Thanks, TJ, for being the fact police.
You're
How
welcome.
can I look younger? I got a beard today.
I love TJ. Is that's from the new 3-in-1?
Yeah, look at this hairpiece on the
That
girl.
It's fantastic.
So I mean, the helmet's attached, but it's got the one braid that comes around her shoulder on the front. That's
so
cool.
Moto says it's 1.5 meters tall. So what is that in
That's like
the US?
5.5 feet tall.
4.5 feet. 1 meter is 3 feet.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be like
Yeah,
1.5, 4.5.
Here's what it looks like.
Good face.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the old iPhone was at about, wasn't it like 2.5 or 3?
Basically a coat rack, Moto said.
Well, it might be closer to a little bit closer to minifig scale. You know,
Hangers
a little
on
bit
there.
closer.
Yeah.
Wait, it's
little
4.5.
closer.
It's 4.5 feet tall. That's almost as tall as my sister.
It's almost as tall as me. I'm a short guy. What can I say? Hi, babe. I have my puppy here. I'm not going to pick her up because she
Yeah,
was
and then
last week.
and then there's going to be a
Did you find-
GWP with
Thank
it
you.
as well.
Thank you.
Eiffel's apartment. The rumors seem to indicate that this will only be available with purchases of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Oh,
Yeah. As far as I can tell, there aren't really any exclusive
hold
pieces
on.
except for maybe the
Oh,
torso
can you do
print
all
on the
the wheel
guy.
squares? Is this like
But there are stickers. So
almost like the room from Tomorrowland, almost kind of close. Kind of,
yeah.
maybe
I want there to be a
And I
World
think
Error series now.
I think the rumor price is $680. I want to say
I
on
think
the Eiffel Tower.
That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
there you go. There you go, Moto. You can build it.
Moto
in
says it could be
anything
built into
Star
anything
Wars.
alternate Star Wars.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
gray. All dark gray.
Hi. Hello. What's going on?
Yeah. But then, of course, there were some other sets revealed this past week.
Lunar New Year stuff.
Yeah, the Lunar New Year stuff and the new Monkey Kid mech, the
Oh,
Monkey
yeah.
Kid Ultra mech. That's 160. And the Lunar New Year stuff, one of which is that parade float thing with the remaining purple classic space parts.
Purple helmet.
Yeah. So that that alien CMF from Series 22 had the classic space torso in purple. And this has everything else basically. The helmet and the air tanks in purple. And then purple legs as well.
Yeah, so the old Eiffel was 42 inches, so just over 3 feet. So the new one will be a little bit taller. So, but the sad part is now I won't be able to sell the old one and get the value of almost the new one. So unless I sell it quick, but
Brick built.
Let's see.
oh, there you go.
Eiffel Tower.
Brick built. Character.
That's not the right
Animal.
Eiffel Tower. That's the right Eiffel Tower.
Oh, sweet. I finally got my UCS Falcon finally. Dang, it only took me forever to get it. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be so hard to build though, because these pieces are gonna be just microscopic. I need a couple pairs of tweezers to build that sucker.
Yeah, that's true, Macro. It might have a lot of good structured pieces.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's constructed. So even though, yeah, you joke about a Star Wars build, it might be a parts pack itself. If it has something unique
Yeah,
that
I mean,
holds
yeah.
it together.
If I could sell up enough sets to where I still can pay to get to the conventions and still register for Chicago, which I haven't registered for, I'd maybe think about it. Maybe. It definitely would be definitely cool, but I might want to see it built before I do that. Which begs the question, since it's so tall, will Lego be thinking about replacing their gallery cases since they keep going crazy big on all this stuff? If so, I wonder if they'll offer the old ones to the AFOLs again like they did the last time they switched out the gallery cases. Because that's I got one the last time. I got one of the tall ones that's sitting over at the Bricks and Minifig here in Madison. It's got my 1x2 plate creation for one of the contests we did for our lug. So using just 1x2 clear plates. Are they printed on real Lego? Yeah, I think yeah. Well, the plates are Lego. I'm guessing they're Lego. They're just tiles. So I mean, in the end, yellow tiles are pretty easy to probably get. I mean, I know I had a boatload of yellow ones. So yeah, they're printed on real Lego. It's an Etsy store. So they're, you know. I mean, in the end, I mean, it'd be good if you got a Lego store. If you got like those, if you got the Lego stores from the Toys R Us stores from the trucks from the back in the day, those would probably be. Yeah, I am not registered for 2023. I need to do that.
I am registered for 2023.
I was going to do it, and then I spent my money on other stuff, on other Lego, and so.
I did it before I could spend my money on other Lego.
That's smart.
I should have. It's okay. It just means I won't get the goodie bag, but you need to sell more Lego. But. Okay,
We can work something out, Reed.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll get registered eventually. The goodie bag's a goodie bag. I don't really need it. Just more Lego to sit in my storage. Do you think I really need a goodie bag? Yeah. So I ordered some more stuff from one of the people on the I got chains. I got more chains, so I was thinking a nice chain mail might look kind of nice. You know, build a chain mail for myself, you know, for one of the shows. I need more than a couple small cups of chains though.
Do you guys want to do what Seth suggests and discuss this season of Lego Masters?
No,
I haven't seen the latest episode.
I didn't see the latest episode because they did a Sunday last week, and then I spaced it out on Wednesday. Rolled around, I spaced it out. I'm like,
I just said that I was in there, and I was like, I thought I didn't have an episode last week because of the World Series, but like I'm kind of mad at the punk kids too, but it makes me more mad at the producer than it does at the kids themselves.
They're gonna make it to the final three.
What's more important is the kid with the dark hair doesn't turn his neck. He turns from his, I think he has a neck injury.
Doesn't turn his head. He
turns like from his waist.
Yeah.
Drives me insane. Well, and go to physical therapy. Like you're a teen, you have to be on your parents' health insurance still. So that's the thing that drives me the most nuts about the season so far is the fact.
So they did do the camp one this last week, right? That was the one they did.
Camp Click a Bricker.
I didn't watch it, but I mean,
Nick to leave. I didn't want Nick to leave.
All I care about is Nick in this picture. He's still alive. Nick's still alive here.
It's not like that new VR headset that kills you if you die in the game. You do.
You guys heard about that? I heard about that yesterday.
Did you read the article?
Yes, I did.
That is so. He's leaving it on his desk as like an artifact or like a piece of artwork or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm sorry. You built something with explosives.
Yeah, and he said he's unwilling to try it himself.
I know because he doesn't have a guarantee. It won't glitch.
Yeah, because it's got a bunch of problems. And it brings up an important point. Like, if the person who owns the company or makes the device or whatever isn't willing to use the product they make, should we really be buying it?
It's not on shelves yet.
Well, no, because I thought about the people who make cell phones. They don't let their kids use cell phones. That's a warning sign there.
There's a lot of warning signs for this. Like I can see some sort of tournament happening where it's like we're gonna wear this, and it's like it blows up your head. There are 3 explosive charges.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about this. What company does he own, TJ?
Hold on, let me look it up.
Okay, I'll let TJ lead on this.
I have not heard. What's
the basic?
Went from Lego Masters to heads blowing up, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember that episode.
Well, Hope.
Oculus,
yeah.
The founder.
VR. Okay.
Yeah, he claims it hasn't been proven yet, I guess.
TJ, go ahead and tell the story because it's fascinating. And I like your voice better than mine.
Let's see. He says, the idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. You instantly raise the stakes to the maximum level and force people to fundamentally rethink how they interact with the virtual world and the players inside it. That's only the threat of serious consequences can make a game feel real to you and every other person in the game.
I mean, I'm sorry. Let's make a device that like kicks you in the nuts if you die. Like, that's real consequences, right?
The device is connected to 3 explosive charge modules that are tied to a narrowband photosensor that can detect when the screen flashes red at a specific frequency. When an appropriate game over screen is displayed, the charges fire, instantly destroying the brain of the user.
By blowing it up.
That sounds like something Ready Player One.
I know.
My thought was this.
Exactly.
My thought with this if you're in the virtual environment, what if you put on like the right color red skin or something like that in the virtual environment and just go around killing everybody?
Right.
That's one problem. And then this article talks about how there were other instances where they tried to raise the stakes. Some people got sensations such as heat punches and electroshocks.
Right.
And the game would end when the player found the pain was too much to bear.
Fine.
Another one had non-lethal electric shocks.
Let's do that. Fine. Yay.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
And then that's just like the Ready Player One series.
And then the guy cautioned that his new system isn't
another comic
perfect. There are he said there are a huge variety of failures that could occur and kill the user at the wrong time. That is why I have not worked up the balls to actually use it myself. At this point, the killer headset is just a piece of office art, a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design.
Wow. It's like Hunger Games, VR.
Yeah, it's like if you saw the Ready Player One. I mean, it's like that. But I mean, taking it extreme where you'll start over when you die in the game and start over again. It's like, I mean, there's no starting over in life. So I mean, that would suck. So
right,
that's kind of right. I mean, in the end,
you're trying to get that point across.
Yeah,
it's nuts. But yeah, I mean, in the end, I mean, designing something like that you don't know how high it can go and how people could alter it. You're right, Pat. Because you're right. People can hack into that just like anything else. And build in a way that you
blow people's heads up.
There are some technology avenues that should not be explored. And this is one of them.
Did we just get spam in our... Oh, there we go.
I got it.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. You got it. Good job, Jesse.
I was gonna say, I mean, I like the VR experience, like after seeing Ready Player One, but you're right. I mean, you need to figure out how to make sure that there are that maybe that you don't have that. You don't have the pain involved, because you're right. Because people, especially until you made the punishment of hacking, so serious that you wouldn't want it. They wouldn't have people hacking it, which we have.
How about a VR headset that detects if you're hacking and kills you for it? How about that instead?
That way people,
it just detects the hackers.
That would be
that way people stop hacking.
Yeah, but how about if it doesn't kill them? It just shuts down their.
Yeah, that is a bit extreme.
Lobotomizes them, so they're just like.
Because I'm like, even
we could just say that it kills them, but then it doesn't really.
Bob, are you gonna come up to dinner? Bob,
what's happening right now?
I have
if you lobotomize them, so the mom, like my mom yells for ice cream, Reed, you gonna come upstairs?
Oh, okay.
Come down. You're just in front of the
I had to reset my focus for a kid that lives in the basement who just games all day. Yeah. Bob, are you gonna come up for dinner?
Well, a hacker who's in the basement all day long, and there's somebody calls and said, "Hey, someone's at the door," whatever, and you just froze. This person's just kind of at the keyboard.
Yeah, that would be the more like the more emotional side of Ready Player One. Is Bob, are you going to come up for dinner?
Bob, you gonna come up to the top of the mobile home and mow the lawn for us? Come on, you can do it.
So Seth actually asked, "Are we reading the chat?" Because he wanted to talk a little bit more about Lego Masters Season 2. We definitely took a divergence there.
Yeah, we went down a tangent.
We took a tangent. We did a tangent from like the forever sorting. But, our tangent only lasted, a couple minutes, so it's not quite as bad. So we're good. We're back on track. We're fine.
Incredibly happy to have that conversation with human beings instead of just like inside my head, like, what just happened? So let's see. What are Seth's points about season 3? 3 we're on, right? 3, yes.
Dog show.
Who was eliminated this last week? You might as well spoil it for me.
Nobody.
Nobody. Oh, they didn't eliminate anybody.
That was the
no one on the
twist.
Wednesday.
There's a big twist at the end.
Oh, okay.
And they gave.
I missed the episodes. That's good.
Well, and I think
they eliminated one on the Sunday episode, right?
I can't necessarily disagree with the point that he's talking about the TikToker guys who, again, the biggest issue is that one kid won't turn his neck. That's the biggest issue of the season so far. However, I shouldn't make fun of somebody with clearly has some sort of injury. But I thought it was kind of a toss up between him and John and between the TikTokers. But I think not only did their dog fall apart. I think the head of what did they have, a dachshund? I think the head was way too small for the body. Like the proportions were way off too. I was like, this is something they're not used to building, and they crapped the bed on it. Crapped. Sorry, I edited myself by not using the actual term. But yeah, I kind of thought the same thing, that maybe John and Xavier should have stuck around that week, but they're not going to fault the TikTokers. I hate to say that. I hate the term altogether. The TikTokers for anything, and kind of like keep them in the mix. But I wonder if the reason they came in late was A, they had like conflicts, but the producers really wanted them on the show. B, and it's actually A.1, like perhaps their parents were like, no, you can't. Or A.2, Atlanta's child labor laws say you can't bring these kids up.
It was planned the whole time because there were 15 teams that were brought into the final, what do you want to call it, elimination before we pick the 13 teams that go on the show. They picked the teams, and then they told those two boys, here's a secret hotel. We're going to put you over here for 9 days, and after that, we're bringing you on to the show. Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't communicate with nobody. Hide in your little hotel. Those boys have been on various shows talking about how they would. So the show pre-planned it. I don't like the fact that they're going to go all the way to the final, and they were able to skip the first 2 eliminations. And
three, isn't it?
Yeah,
they came in episode 4.
Right, but there were only 2 teams that left, so it was like.
No, they eliminated someone in the first episode.
Yeah, they eliminated.
But only 2 teams were gone by the time the boys popped onto the show.
No, 3 teams were gone.
3 teams. Well, either way, it's like it's. But if you watch the show, you could also see that they pick. Here are 3 people that are ultimate builders. Here are 3 people that are below that group. Here are 3 people that are below that group. So they already know when the show begins who they're going to eliminate from the beginning and who has a chance to. The competition will push those 3 that are below the top people up into that stratosphere so that we will have a competition.
That's why it's
the rest of these other people will just go. And so they already knew these other people were going to go. So they brought these boys in because they knew their building level is above the people that are already gone. But it's bull crap that they did that.
It was like in watching the last week's episode when the 2 bottom teams were the 2 brothers and Nick and Emily, right? Uh-huh. Thank you. I was like, I don't understand how either one of them would be going at this point, because the producers have been basically showing us that they're going to make it far into the competition. So I'm like, I guess it's Nick and Emily.
Nick and Stacy, you mean?
Stacy, is it?
I think they're going to make it a long way.
Female name with a Y.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Sorry.
know. I only know the two Stevens because their names are both Steven. Other than that, I'm like the other teams. I'd be like those guys, these guys. You know,
Nick and Stacy.
the Canadian team. I couldn't tell you what their names are. You know, the mom and son. I don't know their names, but you know.
Macro Bricks just said, like, if they win, I'm never going to watch Lego Scammers. He calls it Lego Scammers again. And I'm like, there's been several instances where I'm like, I can't watch the show. I want to see it because there's people I know on it.
Yeah.
But I just can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I watch it at 2 times speed when I can. Just because I'm just kind of like, oh my God, just get to the end, please.
Yeah.
I know, right? Same. So, like, what I realized this week was that, like, I've been feeling very much like the writers and producers are doing Will Arnett a bad turn, because I think he's very funny, and I like a lot of the projects that he's been a part of, but I didn't realize until just this week that he's one of the executive producers.
Oh.
Like, so he's doing it to himself. I was like, you are literally not funny in this. And it's not just me.
I feel like they're trying too hard. They're trying too hard to like hit too many demographics at the same time.
Yeah,
like we want it to be for every. It's like just make a show. Quit trying to pitch it to us. You know,
you need laugh tracks because they can't make the people actually laugh. So
yes, that's what's so strange about it. The applause tracks, the applause track that comes in, that's like clearly like 40 people clapping. I'm like, there's 12 people or 14 or whatever left. Like that amount of clapping, like I think that would be the hardest part for me to be on the show, would be to be produced at the level that they're being forced to like react to something like they think it's actually funny or they're actually excited about it.
Well, maybe by season 5 they'll do it in front of a live studio audience. Then it'll be worth going. Then I might go to do that.
Yeah, you go see a 14-hour episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd just be a really, really long like talk show type thing, but you know.
Well, people are just too distracted building to really react to any of Will Arnett's nonsense. It's just kind of like, I'm sorry, what? You know, they're like, I'm building. Huh? You know.
Steve Weiser just said he hasn't watched it since the end of season 1 because he can't stand Will Arnett. I watched the first season on mute because I couldn't stand listening to any of them. Because the contestants in season 1 seemed like they were all scripted. That went away in season 2. But it seems to have creeped its way back in for season 3, where I feel like people are writing them lines, or if they're not, the producers, like in their little like confessional chats, are saying like, "Can you say that again? But can you say it like this?" And just kind of like forcing them into like overproduced. The show is easily overproduced.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's still on for 3 seasons because it's insulting to people's intelligence.
They're casting for 4 already.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're taking
heard,
applications.
Thankfully. Anyway, no. I won't go there.
I keep wanting them to like, let's do it like Big Brother style. Let's put them in a house, and every week there's a build challenge, and you know, and they have to vote each other out. Let's bring the drama. This is America. Let's bring the drama into it. People are like, oh, there's so much drama, and I'm like, there is no damn drama in Lego Masters.
Not even Big Brother, but like even like just like Top Chef or something like that, where they're just allowed to do their craft and be themselves.
Yes.
Or just pick a few hundred people and just we give them an app and say, you're going to vote at the end of the show, and you're voting in the public. The viewers are voting people off. Figure out a way to do it and do that.
Hey, Hawkeye.
Right. At least add us in kind of like American Idol, where you know the audience gets a vote as well as the whatever. You know.
And Steve just said Lego Masters Australia is 100 times better. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I love that show. I watch it at normal speed.
Well, like here's the basic thing of it. It's like it's in the hands of these producers, so it's never going to like actually enhance or explain the Lego fan community as it exists. Because let's like just rewind for a second to season 2, where they're like, we're gonna put your builds on an earthquake table, in a wind tunnel, in what like all the sorts of like nobody builds to prepare for this. Like it's just like a production status.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That
about
was like when they blew up the pirate ships for no reason.
Yeah,
I was just
they
like,
didn't
what
even
the
tell
hell?
them they were going to blow them up.
And I'm
We're
like,
gonna
why are we
blow 'em
doing
up
this?
anyway.
What?
Yeah,
I think they
so
wanted to
was
get a reaction out of them all, but they were all
I was
not
like, how
really.
did they actually do that if they didn't know it was happening? Because the charges had to have come from inside the models.
Well, it looked like it was air. It was just blowing up, blasting them from the
Even under
platforms
the
that they
ship.
sat
Yeah.
underneath
I
them. Yeah.
was blasting them. Is that what it looked like? Really?
Yes, it looked like the air was blasting them to me. It didn't seem like no I didn't see no flashes of light as they exploded. They just
Yeah, it was underwater, so maybe it
So
was
Seth
just...
makes a good point. He likes Steven Stevens. So my final three are Steven and Steven.
Wait,
Nick
who are Steven and
Stacy.
Steven, by the way?
Those are the firefighters. Aren't they?
Yeah. Yes.
So Steven and Steven, Brendan and Greg, Nick and
Brendan and
Stacy, I
Greg
pick are the final three right there. I don't think the TikTokers make it that far. I don't think they'll make it that far.
I think they've been set up to make it really far.
Yeah, maybe four. I don't
Yeah.
think they'll make the top three.
They sat on their butts for an hour on this one.
I'm pretty sure they'll make it to the final three.
I'd like to see who they're going to kick out of the three. Unless
I wouldn't
Steven
be
and Steven are
surprised.
gone, I don't think.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
Who?
Yeah,
The TikTokers.
Yeah,
he's right.
I wouldn't be happy, but I also wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think they'll win. I don't think
over a million yada yadas. I'm like,
They're
they
like-
brought him in late so that they could have a pass. It's like, yeah, this man. It's like the show is. You can tell who's gonna win.
Well,
from the way it's produced.
Yes,
So
just like
like-
you could the first
Yeah.
season, every
Yeah.
season you can
Yeah.
tell who's gonna win. That's why I like Lego Masters Australia. You can't tell who's gonna win, and they have more fun on the show, and it's longer. It's just, I don't know. It just seems more fun. It
Phil
just
and
seems more
Maria
fun
are
to
two of
me.
my favorite people in the world. And like I watched season 2, like I hope they make it. I hope they make it in the top 2 this week. And I can just tell by the way it was produced because they would check in with them like once per episode, and they were always like in the middle of the judging. And I was like, they're not going to make it very far. The producers are literally telling me that, and I'm like, I felt bad for them because I know they're very talented in what they do. But what they do isn't made for a wind tunnel, you know. But I knew going in to not get my hopes up for Philip and Maria, because the producers literally told me that if you're looking at it the right way, they've been telling us from the beginning that Nick and Stacy, I'm so sorry I don't know this woman's name. I feel really bad.
Yeah,
I know
Is that the-
it's-
is that
more
the-
for years, and that's why I can't remember her name. Stacy is right.
Yeah,
yeah,
Stacey.
Stacey, yeah.
I feel disrespectful to her, so I apologize to her, even though I know she's not watching this. But I feel bad not knowing her name. But I think even from the first episode, it's been like they're clearly going to make it far because of the way they keep checking in with them. And I think with the TikTokers, I hate to even use that term because like I don't think it exists in Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
Yeah.
They're showing us something where like they check in with them so often, they ramp up the drama.
Yep.
Like they want it, like, oh, are they going to make it? Are the young guys going to make it, or are they
Exactly.
not?
Look, their dog broke going toward the runway, and
And it's not their fault. It is not those two guys' faults at all that the show has been produced this way. So I don't want to hate on them at all, except for the fact that the dark-haired guy won't turn his neck. Drives me insane.
I'm gonna actually be looking for that in the next episode and be like, oh.
Yeah, I need to look for that when I catch up.
And then it'll be a meme. We'll have to make a meme somehow. I'll be like, huh.
Like you have a neck, not just your waist. And like I only know this because like I had a bad neck injury in college, and so for years I only turned from here, and I'm like, dude, fix it. So that's kind of like, it's not even fair for me to bring this up, but I do notice that like, dude, you need help.
Yeah, we'll find out he's got a disability, and we're all making fun of him.
Oh, that'd be horrible. I do think he does have. I honestly do think he does have a neck injury that has been unaddressed. However, the point is, like, by the way they're producing it, I think the two teenagers are going to make it. I can't use the TT word anymore. I'm like, I've reached my limit for the day.
The two youngsters.
Exactly. Thank you, Jay. I'm like, I think they're going to make it far. I think they're going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, the final 3. Yep, they'll be
Yeah.
I'll be surprised. I put my final 3 in the chat. They're not part of the final 3.
They don't do a final 2. They do a final 3, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have them in my final 3. I have my 3 already.
We got
So.
Brendan and Greg, Steven and Steven, and
It wouldn't be in my final 3 either. I'm just trying to decode what the producers have been showing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, okay, you're telling us who's going to win. Okay, thanks.
I was thinking this week where they were like, it's the entire like, this is the biggest twist of the season. Do you get the box with the golden brick or do you get the box with the 90,000 bricks? And I'm like, that's not the biggest twist of the season. The biggest twist of the season is that in episode 4, you introduced a new team that's getting past the first few challenges. Second of all, they were again overproduced because they had those the youngsters throwing the bricks like they were excited about it. And it was just a box of like the worst colors and just basic bricks. I'm like, we're gonna give them 90,000 bricks for the 90th anniversary. They better let them do it like a lug bulk order.
But see, the thing is, what Hawkeye's saying, Hawkeye, I understand TikTokers, but Nick and Stacy are influencers, so they're influencing more than the TikTokers are. So I'd have them way over the TikTokers.
TikTokers are influencers.
Influencers are huge.
Interchangeable. I think those are absolutely interchangeable, and maybe it's even generational. Like TikTokers might be influencers for Gen Z, and I hope we change the name of that generation. Although I like their connection to Gen X, I like their connection to me as a Gen Xer, but not some of what else is happening with Gen X in the last 4 years. Anyway, the point is, I think like their influencers get pushed to the front of the crowd now in being cast. That's one thing we noticed this year with Brickworld Chicago is we had a bunch of people who sorry, this isn't, I don't mean to laugh at them. It is funny though that like we had display requests that were like, I want to broadcast my my podcast from the floor. And I'm like, well, we're not going to give you display space for that. You could broadcast from, come in, do it. Totally fine. But there's a new category of Lego fan, which is influencers. People who don't build or collect. They just want to go to fan events and document. And so there's a tertiary Lego fan definition of like original creations, collectors, and now influencers. So
in other words, I need to make my castle bigger so I can actually just pop out of it like the guy and the girl in the cake type kind of thing. And hey, how's it going, guys?
That is
from inside Hope Castle.
That is a perfect interpretation of what I just said.
I would pay good money to see that.
I'll work on that. That'll be my project.
I do agree that would be good.
Live from inside Hope Castle at Brickworld Chicago. Well,
it's documented. We have it. We have this recording. It's going to happen in 2023. I will put it on the schedule.
You know, I mean, just so you know, it hasn't been streamed before, but I have been inside Hope Castle before. Let's see if I got a picture saved here. Long time ago. Ironically, it was at the same show that's happening this week in Colorado when it was in Denver. Oh, look at that. Here, look at that. There we go.
I 100% trust that I could fit inside Hope Castle. I just can't see how you would fit inside Hope Castle. Okay.
There he is. Hope Castle inside Hope Castle.
Do you even Lego, bro? All right, you just won the comments. Macro.
He does, but he's not in his Lego room right now. His Lego room might be underwater still. You just never know. Let's hope not. Let's knock on some wood. It's not as cool of a Hope Castle to be in the center of, but you know, hey, I was getting shot at from Lego cannons though, which was kind of cool.
I didn't take Macro's comment as a comment to me. No, and as far as the basement goes, we just found out this week that like let's see, how do I put this? It's going to be 33% higher than we imagined it would be to fix everything from this point on with everything else. The basement right now is completely sealed. Could live down there. I mean, it'd be very cold and there are no walls. So to refinish everything was a lot more than we thought it was. So it doesn't look like we're going to have like my office and studio space until like January or February.
So you're moving again, is what you're saying, into a different house that gives you the space you need, right? I don't have to worry about water damage.
I would have done that months ago. However, we have to disclose everything that happened and make sure that we fixed as much as we could before it went on to that. So
it's pretty high here. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So in other words, Mark, you weren't traveling in California last week and won $2 billion, what you're saying.
I know that was not me. Okay. I bought my brother-in-law $100 worth of Powerball tickets for the Saturday drawing for his birthday. And I told him he owed me 20% of whatever he won. But nobody won the Saturday one. That's why Mondays was so large.
Yeah, kind of crazy it got that big. But then again, I've been playing the one here in Wisconsin, the Lotto one that starts at 1 million, and it's up to 12.5 now. So nobody's won that in months.
So Macro meant his comment to the TikTokers, which is where I thought he was going. Do even Lego Bro, which I think we need. A pretty powerful meme for that. Like I don't want to encourage it as a sticker that you can like hand out to people. I don't want to like denigrate anybody like in person, but I think a "Do you even Lego Bro" meme would be pretty fantastic. Really appreciate it because it does feel like that sometimes. We're like, I don't think their builds bad. By the way, I don't think their builds have been like horrible. I think they've got some innovative stuff, like the fact that they were like, we don't power function. Do you even power function, bro? It was like, and then they had some good movement in their thing. But it does seem like their talent is being a little bit more praised than it should be. Like you should just be falling into the middle of the pile, guys. Like, I don't think they should be in the bottom two. They should have been for the dog for sure. But like, they do know what they're doing. I don't want to take that away from them. They're as talented as anything else we've seen. I feel like in season 3, we haven't. I think part of it is because I think the times seem really short on these challenges. I don't think we've seen some of the innovation and kind of like amazing builds that we've seen in the previous 2 seasons. I've been a little bit underwhelmed at like the final products for things. And I don't want to blame that on the builders or like their ability to create.
Well, the other thing too to keep in mind too, because I've heard about this on some of the other streams where they talked about it, is if you hear from like the contestants in other countries, they're like, oh yeah, we're on for 3 days, we're off for 1, and when they talk about that, you watch the U.S. contestants, their eyes just bulge and go, that's not how they do it here. And so it's like they're almost like bam, 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 day after day after day. So by the time you get 5 weeks in, I'm like, you're just like, oh my God. That's what it makes it sound like. I mean, so it's, in other words, it's like, it sounds like maybe that's why there's shorter times, is they're trying to get, maybe when they shoot the production, they're trying to do it in a shorter amount of time each time. So maybe you don't get as many breaks or whatever to really rest up and get that brain, thinking of other stuff. I don't know. I mean, just from what I see, it just kind of, what I feel, that's what I feel from the way they voice it, and eyes bulge. You're kind of like, sounds like production in some of those other countries may be better from the sense, and that's why they're better shows, is they've got better production, maybe better rest periods and stuff like that, to the point where, I mean, who knows?
From what I understand of season 2, because it was happening during like quarantine and lockdowns, they weren't necessarily given the time on camera. So the time for their challenges were done in the studio by themselves, like with maybe minimal crew. and because they couldn't go anywhere else anyway, because they couldn't because they were that region was on lockdown down in Atlanta. There was not a lot of restaurants open or anywhere else for them to go. But the way the production schedule went, they had to go to the production staff and say, like, we can't work without lights in the studio. And these, maybe it's just rumors, maybe it's something that I know very specifically from people who were on the show, but it's like the second season was done in a way production wise from their actual shooting schedule. Like, because there was no other way for anybody to enter or exit the building because they were like on some sort of quarantine schedule, they had some really bad conditions for completing their challenges in the first place. And so watching it happen now, we're like, everything's open. And just being like, we're giving you 8 hours to build a pirate ship. I'm like, was it really 8 hours? Because I wonder, the way you're doing all these confessionals and the way you're taking all these extra shots of like Will Arnett being funny. I'm like, was it? And is that why the time seems so much less? Because you actually have a shooting schedule that doesn't leave everybody working in a cold studio in the dark.
Oh, I was thinking you were saying, was Will really funny? Oh, okay, my bad. I misunderstood.
I don't need to ask that question. Everyone knows the answer.
I know. I was trying to make some stupid humor, but obviously, it didn't work. So
stupid humor needs the most attention. I'm sorry, that's a Simpsons quote. Bastardized Simpsons quote.
So, Mark, is there any upcoming Brick Worlds anytime soon of the expos?
We're not ready to announce anything yet officially.
Okay. Oh, so are we officially done with 2022 at this point then?
Yes, I actually finished the P&L even. Oh my God. I can't tell you the release I had this week when I just put all the financials away for 2022. So we're looking at 2023 and we're adding a show. We're not ready to say where and when yet, but there's going to be an additional expo this year, and we're going to try to offer something different with it, where it's not a convention, it's not an expo, but it's a relaxed weekend where people can get more. Like, if anybody on the stream right now has ever been part of one of the expos, that they're it's basically like going to one of the conventions if the convention was just public days. So it's not every Lego fan's favorite thing to do.
Probably not.
No.
That sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting, but that's why we have a different model for it. And by the way, I'm not going to connect it all at this point until everything irons out, but let's take another tangent and just find out how everybody thinks about the new lug bulk rules about you can't use your lug bulk if you're getting paid for the show that you're doing.
Well, that's the questions. Obviously my guys in WISLUG would like to know, have they reached out to you to find out how that? No,
they don't know my business model. They don't know. They don't know because they don't support those.
Okay. So that's the kind of the question is, obviously that would be something for us to know is, obviously since but just like anything else, the thing that I'd say is, so in other words, I've been using lug bulk as part of my castle for every show I go to. So the question hey, Brick Orphanage, hey, how's it going, Stuart? I think so. Yep, I think it's Stuart. But it was one of those things where I'd be just okay, Lego, you're here. Okay, go right ahead. You can try to figure out how many of those headlight bricks came from lug bulk this year, and how many
send out an auditor to my house and the show. Exactly.
Yeah, it's those headlight bricks I ordered in lug bulk. I bought them on the wall. You're welcome. I didn't mark them, but you're welcome to count them. See if you can figure out if part of those 2,000 are part of the ones I got at the store or part of the lug bulk. In the end, it's I could see if now the one thing I could see is the castle. The castle we built specifically from project support, but that's what the goal is. So you put it at a show. But in the end, is that where, I guess that'd be the question is, can you use it at a Brick World Chicago where, you're right, that we're paying to display it, or at a different show? That's kind of, I guess the thing is.
And where does it come from? Because I don't feel attacked by it at all. That's one of the ways that we support. That's one of the ways we support the expos is making sure that people are invested we pay out to them. However, the new rules seem to say like if the money you're paid goes back to support your lug, then that's okay. But you can't individually profit off it. Fine. Do you know how many of these lugs, like you do a library show and the library has a budget to bring you in? We're doing a show for Lurie's Children's Hospital here in Chicago, and they offered us $800 to come in. I'm like, you're a cancer oncology hospital. I'm sorry, you're a pediatric I'm sorry, my syllables are
I'm confused.
You're a pediatric oncology hospital. I don't keep your budget. Like, first of all, anyway, that's besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these libraries are like, hey, we're bringing you in. This is our budget, $300 for your show. So the lugs get $300, which is like nothing to split as a profit, but it's something to put towards like their group lug bulk for the next year, or like something else to shore up like the lug. It's kind of like this is sort of a transactional thing. A lot of these guys don't have any tax status at all.
I'm wondering if it's, I mean, Lego reacts usually to the bad apples. They're not reacting to all of us like myself who.
So what is this reaction to?
I'm guessing somebody that, or they, we don't have a community team here in North America anymore. So the question is, what happened that got them thinking about this? I'm guessing it's one of those things where I'm wondering if they could tell somebody placed a big order and then suddenly for a certain part or parts, and then they see something at a show where that person's getting paid, like maybe everything, travel, hotel, everything, and going, that person just got that order from us for this, and now they're doing that. I mean, that might be what they're looking at. I mean, but
Brick Orphanage just said, like, I'd gladly take a Lego gift card in lieu of the normal compensation. And we have that capability. That's how we pay a huge portion of our staff for the expos. Because what I found is if I bring staff in that I trust and know for every show, we're all over the Midwest. So I have to pay their hotel room, their travel, meals, per diem, whatever. And it's like what I've found is I've replaced a lot of those roles with volunteer role. We call it volunteer because they sign up for it, but we compensate them with Lego gift cards, and it's genius. Like everybody who is involved in Brick World on the production side is like, you're paying them too much, because if they do a 2-hour shift, we give them a $30 gift card. And I'm like, am I? Because we just got rid of a person who's coming in from out of town. We're paying them the same amount by hour that we would a regular staff member, but we're not paying any of their expenses because they're local. They live right there. They're going home to their own bed. And I'm like, if we can replace all the roles in this that aren't something that's like box office manager or like a front of house manager, like those are the ones that I need to like really know and give access to all of my credit card runners, XYZ. There's a couple roles that I just have to bring in from wherever, but I'm like, the more people we can bring in from the lugs that we're doing the shows at, and just give them Lego gift cards, it's genius. It's just like, it's mutually beneficial right away, and they're not traveling outside of their county to get there. So I'm like, I don't feel bad because they don't have to like spend more than these $30 gift cards per 2 hours to get there and be part of the show. My question is, for Brick Orphanage, is that a difference? Could I shift all of my expo payouts to Lego gift cards?
And see, that's the question I would ask too. Is, I mean, you're still getting something out of it, but the thing is, like I said, that's going right back to Lego. So I mean, how you could be upset about that? I mean, they got to spend money back on your product. You're right. That, but they probably still don't want the person. But you're right. But the person who they're trying to get is going to be the person who's not going to do that. Oh no! I need my $2,000 or whatever they're getting paid for this stuff. So in the end, they're probably not targeting like what we're thinking they're targeting. They're targeting the big fish. We're the little fish. You and I, the Brick World, we're all the little fish. I mean, because you're not making we're not making a ton of money. They're looking at the big fish that are really making these orders specifically for something they're going to, you know.
Oh, so they're doing it for commissions.
I would say the things I would think of is like Rocco and those guys that are maybe anybody that's on the payroll for a show, like that's actually on the payroll for a show for a designer or something.
Yeah,
for a builder. That's the guys I would think that they might be worried about. Or somebody in Europe did something. I mean, like I said, everything changes in this world based on the bad apples. Perfect example. Why do we no longer have a show discount at the Lego conventions anymore? If you listen to the Kevin Hinkle's Forever Sorting with Bricksmith, you'd know, because Kevin was at BrickCon in Seattle in his garb, standing behind the registers when a fan came in that was registered for BrickCon, and the people at the counter knew him and said, "Hey, Bob, I see you're registered for the show. You must be so happy to be going to BrickCon and all that stuff." He's like, "Oh no, I'm just here for the discount. I just registered to get this awesome discount." And Kevin's standing behind the counter, and I'm just going, "Oh, I got to report this." And he reported it to the guys in head of retail, and they're like, "Oh, so I guess the fans don't really need the discount anymore." And what happened is, like, Brian Bonham and all those guys before you were saying, you know what? In the end, when they did that, all the conventions saw like maybe what they said, like a 15 to 30% drop in registration. But like Brian and all those guys said, we didn't lose anybody that we really missed. We just lost the guys that were truly taking advantage of the system. All the true fans that were coming to the show to display and everything else, we didn't lose them. Because, the discount doesn't mean anything to them. Because, we like the discount, but it's not going to make it or break it for me to go to a convention. I'm going to the convention because I want to go to the convention. Discount would just be a bonus. So, but, that's what supposedly happened, but that's,
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of that, it sounds better come from Hinkle. I don't know what episode it is in Forever Sorting. If Mr. Hinkle is out there listening, go ahead, let me know. Future sometime, tell us what episode.
Yeah.
Because he tells it a lot better in the Forever Sorting story. But yeah, listening to some of that stuff in itself makes me laugh my ass off because I worked for retail for years. I know it's all kind of crazy stuff. I got passed over for promotion, and then you get you hire somebody that a couple months into work decides to just raid the safe and take out a cart of Lego sets and just disappear. Like, wow, I never thought of that. Got a whole cart of freaking Death Stars or UCS Falcons, man. Great, but I love my job too much. You think I'd be stupid enough to steal from the company I love? You got to be out of your mind. But there are people out there that have no conscience, and and they get pissed off. Like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to take this cart of Lego sets with me. They'll never catch me, or they'll never take me alive. That's right. We'll just build it. We'll just build you in a giant Lego brick box and use Craggle.
So straight up pilfering is really different than the vague commission rule we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. But in the end, you're right. They're looking for the people that are really making a lot of money on this. I don't think they're. To me, I don't think they're looking for all the small fish that are just because in the end, how would you be able to do that? I use lug bulk in all my stuff, but how are you going to know?
I don't think so either. The problem is,
Jesse, I think one of the things they're obviously aiming at is probably somebody that straight up Bricklink sells it, or they're just selling the brick, right? There's a big difference in getting a big discount at Lego, however you get it, and then selling it, just like hobby shop, Bricklink store, however. Okay, so I think
using their lug bulk to get that Viking headpiece that's going to sell for a lot.
Yeah, and then marking it up to $10 and the big 10 cents. That's what I think they're aiming at. We don't know. That's just what's sparking this conversation.
I don't know.
One big gray crossover is something like me, where I'm starting to sell commission works for a few $100s. I am selling the brick. I'm making a money, but it's not like a lot, and it's not like I don't know. It's weird so like commission work for me. It's like it's really vague, and it's
super vague.
it doesn't scare me. Like I don't, I'm like, yeah, hundreds of dollars. Like that's it's small potatoes, and I have one client. I'm not like advertising myself as a commissioned Lego artist or whatnot.
Right.
So I think Reed is right. Like some of the big guys that are like hosting whole museum shows and getting paid for galleries.
Yep.
Maybe but they seem legit too. I don't know the facts.
See that too is, I mean, Jesse, I mean, you're not placing lug bulk orders to do your commissions. I mean, you might be pulling some stuff out of your collection that, if you don't have a list like me that tells you everything that you've bought over lug bulk over the last 10 years, you might not remember what parts are lug bulk. And if it's been a lug bulk on the wall, I mean, and then
I'm buying brick pab cups or bulk orders of stuff that I think I need. And then down the road, I build something and it either just becomes part of a display or for a show, which I'm like, you guys lost me right away why you thought like using Lego bulk for a show is wrong. I'm like, what are you guys even thinking?
Well, that's what the line says. Not to use.
No, but like for me, I go to a show with my Marvel City. I didn't make a dime. So I'm what are you talking about?
Well, all the Brick World Expos, we get paid to display. So we get a portion of the ticket sales. If you've listened to Mark talk, that's how he'll pull people in. I mean, that's, and that's why, and that's why it's like a pick and choose. I mean, it's not like everybody from Chicago gets to go to these other shows, but I mean, it's basically, and everybody's going to go. But the guys in Detroit are going to go to the Detroit Expo. The ones in Indiana go to the Indiana Expo. The ones in Wisconsin go to the Wisconsin Expo. But we, each show can pull people. I could go to Detroit possibly if I wanted to. Hope Castle hasn't been there yet. But they'll pay a little bit. I mean, it pays for the gas, maybe your hotel a little bit.
Right.
So it's just a little
that helps.
So
I call you out on like, but it really baffled me. Like as a displayer, as 90% of the people that go to shows as a displayer, they're just going for fun. Like, what are you guys talking about?
I think there's a few shows that pay obviously Brickfest, a few of the shows I know pay some of the big artists and stuff guys to go, and that's their only show. But in the end, like Brick World, the expos, you get paid to kind of display. And like Mark says, he pays a little bit of the ticket sales, helps you pay for some gas, whatever. Yeah. In the end, it's kind of nice. I mean, you're right. I mean, and they're longer shows. It's not like Chicago. It's a much longer day for you. So
yeah. So
that's where I've run it. That's the only reason I even know about it is because like the lugs who support our expos are saying like, we don't know what we can do for you in 2023 because this is the new rule.
Yeah.
And I don't think the rule is aimed at us at all. I don't think Lego's after my expo model. Right. My expo model is about building the community and putting more money into the lugs.
Yeah. That's where I back it up to like, it'd be a little more clear if you were handing the thing over to somebody else, like I got these for cheap and now I'm giving it to, like I'm not just getting paid for my room and board. These bricks are now being sold.
They're not being sold. Exactly. But it's written as you're making money off of them.
Right. Oh yeah. It's vague.
It's super vague.
Yeah.
And like,
so I'm glad we're having this.
That's where I'm like, the only thing that like the only reason this is a huge concern for me as a thank you for highlighting that comment because that's exactly the same exact thing that I was going to say. We've got people out there who do this and they sign contracts with like whoever. By the way, just as a plug, Brickworld doesn't ask any exhibitor to sign exclusive contracts, never will. We want to build the community, so we want you to make money wherever you can. Do whatever you can to help build the community wherever you want to. I think like if they want to, if that's what it is, it needs to say like you cannot sell your lug bulk on a tertiary market.
Right.
Just write it that way because everyone's freaking out. So they're like, I don't want to sign up for the 2023 show because the lug bulk rules say that we can't make money off of it. And I'm like, you're not. You're not. Which bricks? Like, how am I responsible for finding out which of the bricks that you brought? Therapeutic Lug in Detroit has like 67 tables or something ludicrous like that. They bring in a giant truck of like all their like pre-made displays and all the stuff that they build on site to like engage the public. I'm like, who would ever know which brick was a lug bulk brick and which one was a wherever else brick? That's why I'm like, are you sending out auditors? Are you putting chips in the lug bulk bricks for us to track them?
That would be good. But just put in the translucent ones. I might be able to see those chips in there.
It's a barcode on every single one.
I know that's not happening, but I can't convince the lugs that they can still do it because it's something different. And so they're like, we have these new rules, and it's kind of screwing Brickworld. And I'm like, but it's not, because it wasn't meant for Brickworld.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, it was meant for something else, and they had some like Stud Sidious. Thank you for asking. She's insane. Like, here's a tangent. So my puppy got spayed 9 days ago, and she is losing her mind. We went to the dog park tonight for a half hour. Like, we're not supposed to take her out to like run around and play for 10 to 14 days. And it was night 9. So I'm like, it's basically day 10. So I took her to the dog park for a half hour. Like, she's been nuts. Like, talk about like we do a lot of behavioral training with her for like jumping up on people or for like running off or for like, you know, for like just general listening. Like recall is what they call recall. I do this because that's our eyes, and like come and touch, like that's our recall like thing. It was all desperately missing tonight. She got into the dog park and she was like basically like, I'm rolling in everything. I'm attacking every dog. I'm playing keep away. I'm playing tug. Let's play fetch. Like, she was just insane. So like, she's doing really, really good. She healed really fast. She has a few stitches left. So I don't feel comfortable to go to the dog park at the normal like amount of time we would normally go before the spaying. But she's just like, she's handled it really, really well. She's a very chill puppy. She's 7 months old, and she put up with the entire like not being able to go out and do normal things very well. And we are on the downslope for it, so we're good. Thank you for asking. Back to Hawkeye's question was what?
We had our puppy moment.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs a puppy update.
Yeah, we need a break. Treat.
So Hawkeye said, not to get political, but would this compare to how some of their sets that they've sold in the past just so happen to look like a post on social media from a year ago, but that's a coincidence? Would it, like, are there enough? I don't know that there are enough people in lugs that are selling their MOCs that it would threaten that sort of thing. That's a very different issue. If we want to shift to that issue, that'd be fine by me.
Yeah. Or he's saying selling sets, right?
No, he's not. I equated it to that. He's talking about like how the Lego group itself is paying attention so much more to ideas sets or influencers like promoting MOCs or like a MOC going viral to being very close to what they're producing.
Oh, yeah. Peeling ideas, that's a whole nother.
Peeling ideas is a horrible, horrible mess. I went into Lego Ideas for the first time this week because I was like, hey, what's going on in the Lego community? Because I don't pay so much attention anymore. I went through the Lego catalog on Shop at Home and I was like, they did this? I had no idea. I went through Bricklink to find parts. I'm like, they make this part? What set was it? And I'm like, they made this set? Like, I'm like, I have no, like, my radar is completely off of what Lego is doing. But it's like, I definitely noticed some of the idea sets that didn't get produced were very close to sets that they did produce. And having worked for Legoland, I could see the way production develops, that they refuse some of these idea sets because they already had something that they were developing that was too close. However, I can see people's concerns that it would be like they just stole the idea, which, by the way, I can understand, but I think, let's call it 9 times out of 10, they already had something developing that was close to the idea
it's a
set.
big world out there, guys.
Yeah.
And they're
You think
usually
you're the only one that thought of a Viking pirate ship or whatever?
Right,
Come on.
Their sets are 2-3 years out. So I mean, they're put it this way. I mean, when I used to work for Lego and I went out to move Kevin, I walked into the set room once, and I come out and the lady's like, "Yeah, so how was it?" I was like, "How was what? Oh, you mean there was something in there? Oh man, I missed it. Where they had all the sets the whole year." I'm like, come on. I mean, you think you're gonna get me to talk? I says, "Are you kidding me? I got to see the whole year's lineup of sets. I'm not saying a freaking word because I know what's coming. I know where I'm saving my money for, but I'm not gonna tell the whole world, hey, guess what? They're bringing this out." That was the whole. That was cool. I don't know if they still have that room anymore.
Not for you.
No, they don't build enough translucent sets anyway, so I'm fine. Hey, Cliff, how's it going, buddy? I still need to get Elsa's huge castle at some point, but there's so much out there right now. I mean, I just need to get rid of some of the stuff I got, because I keep buying. As you can see, I keep buying stuff. So,
Reed, you can make Elsa's huge castle much better than they produce. So you don't.
Probably it. I think I've got her small one, and then I got her a little bit bigger one. I just don't have the big one, but in the end, you're right. I mean, I just need to build her something. So she quits showing up at the Ice Bear Castle and expecting them to give her the key, say, "Hey, Elsa, here you go. Here's an ice castle." Ain't happening.
She needs her own faction there. Let's get some equity in your display.
Probably could pick up some mini doll princesses pretty easily.
I think you're right. I would donate to that, by the way. I've got a bunch of mini dolls that I don't use for anything.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Brick Orphanage just said, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. They have a 10-year plan. And some of these lines and sets sit in development forever. So the conflation of this idea was a fan's idea, and Lego refused it because they wanted to steal it is I definitely see where their lines are setting up, because when I worked for Legoland, they would bring us all of not only would they bring us the line of the next couple years sets to as a special sort of benefit for being one of the Legoland employees. They did we worked on stuff that was going to go into parks that hadn't been developed yet, and they were starting to try to put their IPs and their new product lines into parks as they opened them, until we would see them before they were actually produced.
Yeah, somebody's got to.
And it's bonkers how long it takes them to produce a product line.
Well, I mean, perfect example is when the Lego movie came out. Imagine got to see a few pictures of the dog, because he built that ahead of time for the movie premiere. And it was just kind of funny. I was and in the end, it looks pretty much like the dog, open up, and you're pretty good, I mean, and basically all they'd give him was just, he just basically somehow got images from the trailer or something and just did do what everybody else does,
We worked on that.
I wanted that Batman tank type thing, the big 6-wheel vehicle. That's the one I want from the movie.
Our studio, our Legoland studio did the closing credits for the first Lego movie, and so we saw it a couple of years before it was produced.
Yeah.
And it was the amount of changes that happened in that time, and they were trying to get us all the information they had, so it went back years in and of itself. And because we were an outside studio, technically, because it was owned by Merlin at the time, we had to sign all these NDAs. So we would watch like footage of what they were giving us to build the end credits. And it was all like, it had like my name and email address running across the screen for the entire thing. So I'd take screen caps so I can get like what I wanted to look at. And I'd be like, I'm trying to get like the very specifics of all the things, but I'm like, the opacity is just a little bit too dark for me to see where this brick and plate changes because my name is in the way.
So, yeah. Oh, what do I want to do now? I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I'm a sort, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with Hawkeye that your lore, read the lore in your castle setup.
Yep.
Like Elsa should play a huge part.
Elsa?
Well, I mean, I think you need some sort of faction that's very strongly other because it's very powerfully testosterone-y. I'm just gonna leave it there. That's the last thing I'll say.
So in other words, Elsa can't be. They can't be the fodder out on the battlefield. You're saying they need to have an active role. Good to know. Good to know. Can't make all the girls unhappy at the show. That'd be bad. I guess I'll sort. I guess.
I think Elsa could kick some Ice Bears' asses.
Well, maybe.
Brick Orphanage, no. Brick Orphanage, no. I worked for Legoland Studios. I was out in California to start. I moved to Malaysia for 4 months, which doesn't seem like a long time, but you live in Malaysia for 4 months. Tell me how it feels to you. And then I went to London for a while for some training, and then moved back to the studio shop. We weren't a Carlsbad shop. We were a studio shop. So we built for all of the. I don't do this. This is why I start the opening ceremonies at Brick World with like, my name is Mark. Moving on, because people don't need to know my history. It's not about me. The show is about all the fans. But like, if we're gonna do this now. Just to let you know, when I worked for studios, we worked for, we built New York, Florida, Malaysia, and then we did all of the burst of LDCs that came out. So Atlanta, Kansas City, Chicago, which is Schaumburg. But we had a lot of complaints and had to prove to our directors a lot why the models cost so much. That's why some of those mini-lands are like so lacking in actual Lego models, because everyone involved in Merlin just wants the bottom line to be as low as possible. And they were charging us out at 3 times our rate to make their own budget. It's a business center business model, if you guys know business at all. And that's how they were running everything. So they're trying to reduce the amount of Lego hours they needed to spend. Model building hours they needed to spend to open a facility. That's why there's so many strange rides in LDCs, is because they were trying to reduce the amount of Lego models because Lego models were too expensive for them to purchase them for their partnerships with Lego to open them in the area that they wanted to open them during that time. So. I never worked for the Schaumburg LLDC. They contacted me to see if I wanted to move back to Chicago to be the master model builder, but the master model builder position paid $13 an hour at that time. And I was like, why? What? And it was like basically like you run birthday parties. There wasn't even any like sort of like design concept to the role. And it was basically like an entertainment sort of marketing sort of PR, HR. I'm not kidding. I didn't misspeak. HR role. And I was like, no, who would say yes to this? So yeah, I never worked for Schaumburg. I worked for Legoland Studios Carlsbad, which is how close.
So Hawkeye, who do you think leads the Ice Bears? Moi.
There we go.
Moi.
Conversation.
But in the end, I mean, eventually I'll be a Badger. So, it's just, transition. Life's great transitions. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Some sort. So someone says, "Hey, yep, have Elsa building part of the castle." Oh, so have Elsa and her maidens all in chains and work on a castle. Got it. I'll have that in place.
Wait. Or Elsa joins forces with the Ice Bears.
Oh, the Crocs have already called dibs on that
Or
one.
the magic.
She might be out of luck.
Oh, well, maybe maybe the Ice Bears tried to like negotiate with her and really turn the Crocs off. So maybe the Crocs become their own faction.
The Crocs. Well, you might see them if Ralph comes to Chicago next year. That might be part of the collab, possibly.
Maybe if I'm lucky.
Maybe if you're lucky. Debating, trying to get him to come to the show. Might be something. Well, now that I gotta be inside my castle now, I mean that changes everything. Now. I gotta change my whole. I gotta rebuild the whole thing now because I gotta be able to fit inside of it.
Well, I don't necessarily know that you need to be inside your castle. I think what Jesse and I express is that we want to see you burst out of it.
So in other words, basically I need to make special tables where I can just be under the table, kind of where I can peep my eyes out through the castle and be looking, you know.
I don't care about the logistics. I just want to see you burst out. I like making Jesse laugh. It's the highlight of my week when I participate.
Making Jesse laugh.
Yeah, it's
feeling,
man.
Larry's not here to take care of all the extra laugh tracks this week. So
where is Larry?
Larry is he was setting up for Brickfest Live Colorado. I don't know where he is now. If he's at home or if they did kind of building stuff with games or whatever. I don't know. I mean, in the end, the Springs is still, it's half an hour, whatever drive. I don't know if he just drove home after setup or what. Or if they're playing games somewhere or whatnot. I did play Munchkin with a couple of the guys from the Lug when we went to the Denver Brickfest the one year. That was kind of fun.
Did you meet the inventor of Munchkin at Brickworld?
Of course. The first year in 2012 when I was there, I was like, is that an ogre? And they're like, yeah, that's built in honor of Steve Jackson. Steve Jackson?
Jackson is here.
Like, oh yeah, he's like Lego. And I'm like, that one of those years, the first one of those years I ended up, I think that first year, I got to eat next to him at the Ram. And then I think the next year, I might have actually gave him a ride over to the mall for something or whatever. So,
that does not surprise me. Do you remember in 2019 driving me to the locksmith?
Yes, that's always a very good story. But yes, I do remember that.
The lock on the U-Haul, which was my lock, the key broke off in the lock at 2:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
The night before load in, and I had stuff left to build, and it was stuck in the truck. And so I was like, Reed. Lee was someone else who was involved in all that. Lee Jones from Canada. I was like, hey, can you drive me to a locksmith so I can actually have a productive week? That was fun.
Yeah, I miss Lee. Hopefully he'll be back maybe this next year, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. They've been through a lot. They've been through a house fire. They've been through.
You hear about that?
Yeah.
I was gonna say earlier, and then I forgot that Larry still has yet to post his build on the D&D challenge thing on Lego Ideas. So
Okay.
it's also possible he's still working on that right now.
Oh, what's he gonna do? Do you know?
So I don't know what it is. Bear Owl, I think.
Owl bear.
Oh, it's
Owl
Owlbear.
Bear. Yeah.
I wanted to like warn people if they're building for that, they need quote unquote need to like build a tabletop model that exists already for purchase, because I think that's what's happening. It seems like Lego is going to get involved in tabletop gaming models
Mhm.
with the release of the new movie. Like, isn't that
Like modular.
yeah, or not modular, but like something that is like a Lego dice tower, or like a Lego, like you have all these locations within D&D, like, and people spend like hundreds of dollars like with the die cast
Yeah, with the
that they print
miniatures.
themselves. Yes. And so what if there was an entire like tabletop gaming world that was Lego? I think they're trying to get into that market.
Oh, so maybe something that would be on the scale of like the
Mhm.
miniatures.
So something like I submitted.
What'd you submit?
I submit Wizard Tower.
Share it.
Should we share it? Should we look at it
Yes.
in person or on the website?
You can do whatever you want. It's
what's
your
it-
stuff to show off. You can do what you want.
So here is your classic tavern.
So, there you go. Yes.
On a 16 by 16
That's what I'm talking about.
and easy to play in the inside as well as the outside.
Mhm. What you know.
So make it a little modular, give it just enough details to get the story started, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a visual for gameplay. So I've got a tavern, I got a wizard tower, and a crypt. And they're all three are the front and the back, like that.
He is the crypt keeper.
You're gonna win.
I was making those before the contest even started. So
There you go.
I was like, I'm making these things and trying to get ready for a game, really. And most recently, I made this. I didn't submit this, but this would be your wilderness encounter Mills plate, basically.
There you go.
Because you got to have a little movement on there for all the
I think that's what they want.
attack battles and stuff.
Is that a dragon getting attacked by a ward?
This is a dragon-born character. It's a race in Dungeons and Dragons.
I haven't played in a while. The only ones I played were some of the ones the fantasy series are the ones I played computer.
The dragonborn guys don't have tails or wings. They just have dragon-like head.
Got him with a vermilion sword.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the dire wolves are attacking, if you will. Yeah, I'm getting ready for this. I like this dwarf character I made with Alloy's hair.
I definitely know something about animal heads. Not so much a dragon head.
Anyway, I was thinking of all that stuff before, so I just submit what I had. I kind of like cleaned it up a little bit, and so I got a wizard tower, a tavern, and a crypt on there, and I don't care what happens. I just like the challenge and hope to.
Can you update the your submissions before it's over?
Now the challenge entries are different than the ideas entries. The ideas where you're trying to get supporters, you can edit it and go in and do all the stuff, but
you got one shot for
you got one shot put in your text, put in your 5 photos, and you're done. And it's going to close on Monday as far as submissions.
Yeah.
There's like about 6 weeks of entries.
Maybe I should build. Maybe I should spend a day building.
Maybe.
No, okay.
If you got a good idea.
I think you have to know something about D&D in order to do it.
Well, I mean, I played some of the old ones on the Commodore, like the fantasy series and stuff like that. Just kind of
Commodore.
Early days of D&D. Huh?
Read the Commodore. Everybody drink.
How about Windows 98? Windows 98 machine over here too. You better drink. You better double drink for that, because that can probably still run some of this stuff. Might actually work better. Oh yeah.
But your point was, Reed. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
Broken piece. No.
Is it brown?
No,
Is it dark red?
It's a black with broken clips.
Oh.
I don't even know where half this stuff came from. So
I have no idea about anything D&D, but a bunch of my friends do. So as soon as the voting becomes available, I'm just gonna put it in whatever Discord chat we're in. And tell them, hey, vote for whatever you want. If you want a Lego set.
I'm wondering if they'll do it like some of the other ones they've done, where they'll do fan submit for all, or if they'll maybe pick a bunch. And
I think they pick 5, the top 5. Let me check that.
Read the agreements, or like the whatever terms and conditions you agree to when you submit it. It's like you have like the Lego group, but you have like there's a certain number of people judging it that like they clearly have a product line in.
So there's 3 phases. After this first phase, the submission phase ends, there will be a judging phase where the judges will review the submissions and choose a number of designs, not more than 5, for a fan vote.
Yeah,
by November 28th.
I submitted stuff once before, but they didn't like my stuff. So
nothing more than 5.
I know they don't like translucent stuff. I know that.
And then the vote will run from November 28th to December 12th.
I'm waiting for that one. I'm waiting for that.
And then they'll announce which one's been chosen on no later than the 19th.
What does Jesse have?
This is the Wizard Tower. This is my first submission.
There you go.
So here's a classic technique, kind of, with the rock work. And then boom, you can still, play D&D in it. See, we got a little trap door in there. A little chest. But like big enough and small enough that I think it could be a set. And then you got a room up here that you could modular, get in and out of.
Now, can you build all 3 of your creations from the pieces from one?
What's that?
Can you build all 3 of your different submissions from the pieces from one?
Ooh, it's not a 3-in-1 set, although I could probably find a way to do a Wizard Tower and a Crypt with the same pieces. That would be a challenge. I have done 3-in-1 kits before.
That might be something that might be actually kind of cool too. But I mean, that's what they might try and do something like that too. You never know too if they have that.
I designed. Let's see if I have it.
Sorting. God, sorting. I hate sorting.
When I worked at Brickmania, I designed this kit. And it went to sale at the White Stripes. What is that? Darn, what is their business called? And it's a 3-in-1 kit. You can build the White Stripes, like lettering, with all the same pieces. and 2 different versions of the characters.
Yep. That's the contest I'm waiting for right there. Can you see it clearly?
3 in 1.
Yep, I can see it clearly. There's a literal pun right there. Yeah.
I gotta do some breakdowns on my old Brickmania kits on my YouTube channel. It's been a while, but I think that would be something that might.
I need to drop. I'll be back shortly.
We'll try and make sure we're still here when you get back.
See you, TJ.
What is this end broadcast?
No. I would maybe not restart it tonight. I don't know.
I almost spit my beer. I was like, yes. It's like the joke. It's a good way to remember it because we like joke about it.
Yeah. A couple people have done it.
It hasn't happened since, right?
No, it has.
The night that we did it twice in the same stream. Anyway, yeah.
That might be a record, you know.
A 3-in-1 Dungeons and Dragons kit would be a good idea because then you could have 3 different scenes that just like the game is flexible.
Yeah, or maybe they'll figure out a way to try to build a couple things within the pieces. And that's, I mean, just like any redesign process, that would be kind of cool too, is to maybe try to do that.
Why?
There you go. That's where TJ's going. I cannot confirm or deny that's where he's headed. He did not message me to say where he was truly going. If he's going there, I'm not going to ask. I'm going to have to, once I got to clean this up a little bit. I need to build some castle stuff here soon. That's the other reason I probably haven't built, because I'm just still so hung up on trying to get somewhat sorted too. I'm redoing my storage still. That's an ongoing project. I've been kind of unmotivated this last week. I haven't done a lot. So. Project that is ongoing. Well, when they do the "Can you see it clearly?" I definitely have a couple things for that. I'm gonna have my purple one. I still got to work on some more too. The purple badger head.
This boat is shaping up, by the way, pretty good.
Oh, there you go.
Got like the dragon head and tail. And
It's a brick bolt hull, right?
yeah, brick boat hull.
Jesse, is that the actual set, or are you doing something original?
Yeah, no, this is
Okay. Great set.
yeah, I'm learning.
Jesse's learning how to build tonight, guys. Just he's relearning the masters of building, even though he's already a master.
It's good. I wanted the characters, and I don't have too many boats, so this would be a good one to have.
I got a couple old ones. I got the couple of troll warships, which are open.
Put this
That's
in the right
ship
orientation.
tag.
Page here.
Of course, I got my Imperial flagship with the tiger print underwear sails. Oh yeah. The shrubbery. Shrubbery cup. Yeah. This tells me right now that this This lot, wherever I got it from, is kind of old. It's got a tree with some snow on it.
Nice.
So I would say this is must be a little bit of an older lot of whatever I've got here. I don't remember how late if that was still in sets back in the early 2000s, then it might not be too old. Because this almost makes me think of the old days of grab bags, just from the amount of stuff that seems to be repeating itself in here over and over.
Well, I think we lost Jay, but I think that is it's worthy of a internet search to find out what sets that part came in. There we go. My brain's tired. Checking it out.
Bricklock was asking how pre-registrations for Chicago were going.
Oh, great! Like the best, the best we have ever seen. So thank you to everyone who has registered so far for their badges.
I'm just looking forward to the next yard sale.
Yes, me too, actually. What am I looking for?
I'll just have to figure out a master to make it a little bit smoother.
Snow Christmas trees.
What?
Snowy Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah. Old school tree. Yeah, the one.
Thank you.
Oh. Snow. Hey, Jesse, didn't you guys have like a brick belt one of these suckers at the Chicago as part of that giant train layout? Did you have a tree that was?
We had we did a 5 times larger tree in that form.
Nice, beautiful layout.
It's quite the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to make more of them, but time, life,
always the problem. Time and physics.
Parts too. Once you get to the top of the tree,
some
of the green slopes are not too readily available.
Mm-hmm.
Very dirty lot too. There's lots of interesting articles of humans in here. Humans.
There it is.
That's
Dang. So that was only in 3 sets.
Which one?
It's 3 sets. I have a bunch of those as well, but it surprises me that I have as many as I do. And there was one in 2005 in the Snow Queen set, which was a Belleville set.
Hmm.
And then there was one in 2007 in the holiday advent calendar, again for Belleville.
What year was that?
2007.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2010, the Lego employee gift was a Christmas game. It had one of those in it. Is that really all?
Wow.
That would explain why.
An entire shoebox worth of these things.
That would explain why I've got some then, because that was about the time I would have. That would have been grab bag season.
Let me see if there's another print for that, because I feel like nope, there's not. That's it. Wow, I feel like I see those in a lot of places, and I have a bunch of them. Where did I get them? I think I probably bought them on Bricklink at the right time,
or maybe at a convention or something. Brickworld or somebody.
No. Bricklink has much better prices than conventions. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you might have been just tempted.
No, I'm never tempted.
I must be the only one that's tempted.
Yeah.
Just to put a fine point on it, I feel like the vendors that are my buddies. They're like my friends, and like we're all there together. And I feel like they have a bit of price gouging. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe I did not say price gouging. But no, I think their prices are like
markup.
At like I know, right?
Just call it a markup.
Hello. I think their prices are set at like at convention prices, like prices that people expect to pay when they go to a convention, which that's fine. That's their prerogative, and that's how events work. But I'm like, I ain't gonna buy this. So I'm doing landscaping tonight, and a lot of the parts are still in the basement. So I won't be able to finish any of this. However, oh, there we go. That's what I did wrong. Still building.
These are very special sunglasses. They help sort Lego that much faster. It's like you gotta have these special sunglasses. Yeah.
Where do they sell those, Reed?
Certain places. And I got to keep my sources confidential. I don't want everybody sorting as fast as me.
Well,
especially Brett, because then he'd be building trains a lot more and stuff like that.
Oh, I see what I did.
Hey, Brett's built.
I did see a slope. Where's my slopes?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I see what I did.
Fabulantis.
Ooh.
Is that a
Oh, what? How many, Hawkeye?
Because there was like Fabu, the Mad Max Fabuland was pretty cool. So now you're gonna do underwater?
Maybe.
We're just giving him ideas. He's gonna be tempted eventually.
I'm so much wrong.
Oh, these are cheapos. El Cheapo sunglasses. That way you can lose them, scratch them.
At least they look like Oakley. So Fabulantis.
It's a good name.
So Hawkeye was like, I'm ready for to get this Fabuland Atlantis thing going, and I was like, I responded to him with one word, and the word was Fabulantis. Come on, man. You're a designer.
Oh,
How'd you not start there?
he took it one step farther. You're in trouble now. It's gonna gain traction.
Many more steps further than I could have.
It's gonna gain traction. Yeah.
Okay, let's get it going. I can do it. I'm currently building a Fabuland orchard, and I've never been so geeked out in my entire life. Because behind the orchard, in front of the orchard is a vineyard, and now I'm adding waterfalls and rapids. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to die from happiness. Also, at the same time, very excited about Fabulantis and loving the term so much. 2, 7, 4.
Coming to a land near you.
Coming to a Fabuland near you. Thank you very much. I need to go soon because I have a whiny puppy who's about to lose her mind.
Whiny puppy.
Well, she's more of a vocal hound than a whiny puppy. So vocal hound.
Growing up.
3 a.m.
Cool.
Hey, I popped in to say hi and dropped a late night. Hey, Brett, what's up? 3 a.m. Are we that?
He's in the UK.
close?
He's over in the land with the queen and the king. Queen and the king.
I was like, wait.
Yes, it's you've missed a ton of time already tonight, Mark. We have the ability to speed up time in these streams too. You got to watch out.
Yay.
We don't say up front because we don't want people getting worried. So
Right.
no, we thank you for coming. So you're welcome to leave whatever you want. We're not going to kick you out. Not like everybody's fighting for a chair tonight. Hopefully we'll get to that point at some point in the future. We got to take a number to sit down and join the big boys.
Pick a number to get on the panel.
It's not what it's about. It's about the community, and here's our community. So here we are.
Taking number 5.
Could
I'm
just
going to drop
start-
out because I'm feeling much more tired than I thought I would. It's been a long few months here.
You don't want to fall asleep in front of the computer like some of us do? Come
Oh,
on.
no, not at all. I don't think I'm afraid of falling asleep. I feel like there's a lot more going on here at our house tonight with the puppy and with dinner coming and with trying to figure out where our finances are to like fix the basement so that I'm not in this random room in my house with a dirty ladder behind me instead of like my Lego collection like I'm normally. So we have a lot to figure out. I know there's more coming, so I would rather focus up for that. But thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me every week. Sorry I don't participate every week, but here we are. Good night.
Good to see you again. Nick.
Always good to see all of you. Doc's been way too quiet to like take up one of our rectangles.
He's probably working on a video in the background.
I'm calling Doc out right now.
I hear you. Don't think I don't hear you.
He's out.
Nothing like getting called out on another stream.
Oh man, this boat is looking good.
It's a boat. It's a boat. Oh, it's got the looks like the center. Actually, I did get an order of. I must. Oh, I when I was at Bricks and Pieces or Bricks and Minifigs this weekend, I bought some like the masts, a couple of masts for ships. Bought a tow truck, a blue tow truck, and then a red motorcycle transport type thing. They had a sale with something. I bought a couple. I bought a couple city sets. I'm not a city right now, but I did. Probably because the tow truck, everybody always loves the tow truck. So.
Reed, what is that picture on your screen?
Which one?
There's a picture of you sitting down with someone. You're sitting.
This one here.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
This is one that we were building the giant Duplo streaming studio at Brickworld one year. Nick is the one that's currently on Lego Masters with Stacy. They're a team right now on Lego Masters Season 3.
Okay.
And then Chester's inspecting the wall. He's making sure it's up to snuff there. So.
Okay, and Nick is sitting there going, "Really? He's pulling out this squirrel." You can see that. You can see that look on his face.
Pretty much.
I'm so disappointed, Jesse. I thought that was a boat you were building. I was like, he's building a set. Boo. Boo. I was like, oh, Jesse's building his own Viking boat.
A mock, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was hoping it was, but
man.
And you said you were learning, so like, what do you mean? What new technique is in there that you're just like, ooh? I mean, I would think you already have all the techniques down.
The parts for that mast is crazy. Just that flexi stringy part, just to make it look like a ship. And I mean, I could build. I'm pretty sure I can mold a boat in this fashion. So I guess I'm just learning some of the placement of like what's going on here.
Okay, but
so they're using
crazy technique or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
That's pretty cool.
I don't think there was just a lot of snot building to do sideways on the head and the tail of the dragon, which is cool. I expect that on a brick built boat like that. You can kind of see the technique right there.
Oh yeah, and you got to sandwich both.
You sandwich. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Which is good to get texture, shaping the boat upward and then inward. So you sandwich build, and then yep, that's how to do it. That's how I would reproduce that if I was on a show someday.
So you're trying to say that you applied for season 4? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
It always cracks me up. Everybody's just like, I don't want to say that I applied, so yeah. So I mean, it's just like,
I keep thinking about
it.
I still think I need a teammate to even make it on. I need somebody with some chemistry to get to another point in the casting, because it's all about personality and character. And then once you're on the show, it's like rolling the dice.
Yeah,
they're throwing so many random things. To your skill level will get you so far in the top half or bottom half, and then it's over. So
the thing is, I was thinking, if I had, if I was trying to do to make it like a story, to make it a little bit more interesting, is I'd probably want to try and see if I could talk my friend who went cold turkey 15, 16 years ago, if I could drag him back into building Lego. That would be a way to definitely,
it's part of the story too. If you guys connect and he wants to do it, then that's a story right there. I haven't touched it for a decade, but this guy wants me to build, so here I am.
Yeah, why not make it super deep? But you're right.
Exactly. And then I'm out once the show's done. He's like, "This is my last break. I'm dropping
right.
That'd be fine."
I know we won, but I ain't promoting anything. I'm out. Good luck.
He'd be just like, give me your half of the winnings, and you can have my collection.
Oh no, I'm taking my money. You can just tour alone. He'd be like, yeah, my partner doesn't want to do it anymore. He helped me win the show, but
actually, that would be a good story there too. To say, he said, if we win, he's gonna take my half of the winnings. I get his Lego collection.
Well, if he walked away 15 years, does he even have any Lego?
Oh, I know he's got 3. I know because I acquired him. He's got 3 cafe corners still sealed in the boxes in his basement, and those suckers are full. So he's got stuff. Well, he's got lots of stuff. Now granted, those are the few things that are sealed. Basically, what I would do is I would buy the sets, open them, and rebag them into like the Lego bags that we had back then, the plastic ones, put it into a bigger box, and then ship it. So I could get like 20 or 30 sets into a good sized box, where it only would have been like 2 or 3 sets, and send them to him. So he might be missing boxes, but he's got stuff that would still be sealed, a lot of Indiana Jones stuff. And, because he was spending, what was it, like $500,000 a month on Lego when we were at our peak doing stuff. We had a green card he just put money on, and I'd spend it the other end. And yeah, it was crazy. He was buying pretty nutty. Well, our goal was to build a really cool city at some point. So that's why most of my stuff is a lot of city stuff, because I was still buying with that concept in mind. So I skipped a lot of the castle and a lot of the other stuff because I was buying cities. So that's kind of the thing. So I sell duplicates. I don't sell any of my onesie city sets. selling even that Mare's Train kind of didn't feel great to do it, but you know, did it. That's a dirty brick. Dirty brick. I'm not too fond of this. The condition of some of this collection. I wish I maybe would have washed this thing. Scoop, another scoop. I want some bigger parts.
Yeah, I feel like I would have the speed to be on the show and put some stuff down. For sure.
I don't know. I mean, I've never really done the speed. The only speed build I really have done, I think, is that one we did with the boat, the goat boat. I mean, that's probably the last one I've done. So, you know, I mean,
yeah, you did good in that one. Kind of surprised me.
So in the end, I mean, that's probably the last kind of really build much for speed. Well, probably because I've been building in plates, so I can't build for speed there. Just, you know, from the simple fact of how long it takes to do a lot of that stuff. But in the end, it'd be something that we're trying. I mean, you know, used to see. I mean, worst case, like you end up like the rest of the people who just don't make it from casting. And just, you know, you try and then, you know. Lego creatives. That means you were a Lego designer or something I worked for Lego. I mean, I was just retail, so if they don't let Mr. Personality on, they got a problem.
No, but I think
Yoda would do well on Lego Masters.
me and Stud Sidious could throw down. That would be dope. I think it would take somebody, like that in the community where like Mel and Jermaine kind of met and then just teamed up for the show. It's a commitment. I think the commitment's a lot. Whew.
Did you see Mel got into the land?
Yeah, I haven't personally talked to him. I expect to see him Monday, of course, on my spoiler show. But
yeah, what's up with that? Why is that on Monday? Why is that not Sunday? What's going on?
Willie wanted the show to come back, so I said, "What day do you want to do it?" And he said Monday. I was like, "Okay."
Oh, so Willie's going to be on it, huh?
So we're gonna have Willie on the show, and that's what he wanted. So it gives the whole weekend for everybody to catch up and watch it. So I think that's a good grace period for.
I didn't care until I saw it, and then I was down with the whole hashtag recast T'Challa. It's like, yeah, they should have recast the character instead of what they did.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to.
But I also feel like it's almost like his death played into their plans, because it's almost like, because the next phase, you know, it's all about, you know, the women's superpowers, and you know, we got to have. I don't know.
Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to
spoiler. No spoilers.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it
Monday, because there's a lot of spoilers that went down in the movie. But yeah, it was good. Definitely good. The changes were like, okay, fine. You know, I'll live with it or whatever. I can see why people were saying it's a woke. I'm like, okay, I can see where I see where you're coming from,
right.
But it's not, this is not what this was about. But I can see how you could see that, you know. I'm like, all right.
That's why I say, have you seen the movie? Because like, if you absorb it all through the end, you can kind of
yeah, exactly. But it's just
speculate that it's not going to stay crazy woke.
Right. Well, it's not really crazy woke to begin with. Some of those people, it's like immediately any movie that doesn't have a white man as the lead, it's instantly in their minds woke, even though it's not.
Right.
And even though there are some that are like that, they're like, oh my God, this is woke as craziness. But I feel like it's like the She-Hulk, when they threw in Scar, just like boom, there he is, look all grown. It's like it's like the Young Avengers aren't going to organically become a thing. It's like they're just like, yeah, we're gonna make it, and so it's gonna happen, and so to make it happen, we're gonna push all this stuff forward. It's not really gonna make much sense. Yeah. Don't look at it too closely, but here they are. Look, there's the Young Avengers. Boom.
Some are going to be teens, and some are going to be old mans, and
right. Well, this way they can be all like, "Hey, we got an analog Hulk, we have an analog Iron Man, we have an analog Captain America, and we have an analog to the the Big Five or whatever." And it's just kind of just like, all right. I mean, it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed it. It was but. So it's like, does it really set up phase 4? Was it really a good ending to this phase to bring on to the next?
Oh no, yeah, it was more of a standalone.
Yeah, it's almost like the Black Panther movies are in their own kind of like universe over there.
Not to give this is not a spoiler. There was no after credits scene, so it wasn't really setting up the.
No, it was kind of like they were saying this was supposed to be like the Quantum Mania is supposed to set. It's like the launching of the new phase, and this brought the old phase to a close, kind of a deal. But I don't know, without Avengers in it and whatnot, it really wasn't a closing of anything. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I say. Well, we'll talk about more about it Monday.
Yeah.
But.
Right. Well, then I get the whole idea that a lot of people wanted T'Challa recast because there was like. There aren't enough black man faces in the Marvel universe as lead characters, and it's like, and I guess Captain America isn't enough for everybody. It's like we have to have and Black Panther and Captain America. We can't have just Captain America. And I get it, but it's just like at the same time, it's like, what other black man superhero is there really that we could bring into the Avengers that would be able to, help us, take to that level or whatever.
Somebody else, which they could do, but they did it for Nick Fury, so you can do it. You can if they do it right with the right person.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm just kind of like we've already got
with the X-Men. Maybe I think the X-Men's a perfect example. They want to cast Better Call Saul or what's that guy's name?
I know what you're talking about. What's his? Oh God, Esposito. Something
Esposito as Professor X. I think that would be awesome. And they said the word mutant was. They're just like no holds barred. I think now it's like I am a mutant. It's like, whoa, all right.
Right. And then, and then the Latin people finally have a superhero with, Namor, even though he's really not a hero. It's just kind of, he's a villain. Okay. Everything that happened in the movie, he's a villain. I don't care how it ended. He's a villain. Okay.
Yeah. They're
I cannot forgive you for what you did. Sorry.
I wonder, and we'll talk about it more, but because I think there was supposed to be a Doctor Doom and they deleted it. There's no mention of that.
Yeah, there were rumors about Doctor Doom, but I think
that would have been too much. There was a lot going on.
I just think that was just fans praying and hoping.
Yeah,
they got it.
I'm sure Doctor Doom will show up eventually.
Just like the Mephisto. I'm just like, knock it off with the Mephisto, people. It's just kind of like, who cares? He's not that great of a villain, and he takes us down a road we don't want. He takes us down a road we don't want to go. It's just like, no, we don't want to bring religion and whatnot into the Marvel superhero movies. It's like, leave the devil out of it.
What about Agatha Harkness coming up with? They cast Aubrey Plaza. That was pretty cool.
Who?
Aubrey Plaza is. She was in Community opposite of Chris Pratt's. She was in.
Yeah, and that.
They didn't recast Agatha. Agatha.
No, she's going to be a villain witch.
Oh, okay. Somebody bad. Just like I hear that Wanda's going to be in the flashbacks or whatever or something. She might somehow appear in that. And the White Vision, I'm really looking forward to that. They've been hinting that, hey, we're working on the White Vision. And then you heard how they gave Gunn and that other guy. They're like, hey, we finally decided to create a Feige. Or whatever.
DC or universe.
Yeah, a DC team.
We have created an overlord here.
Somebody that has knowledge of the pop culture.
Yep, and what's his
Yeah.
name is all like, well, he
I think
better finish
enough.
his Marvel. He better finish Guardians of the
mean-
Galaxy first, and then he can do what he wants. And he's looking forward to some of the stuff that he's going to do or whatever. And then, of course, Cavill's all like, I am definitely Superman, you know.
Yeah.
And James Gunn said that Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Harley Quinn are the focuses that he wants to be working on or whatever. So that's kind of, I'm like, Harley. I'm like, all right. Because they're trying to turn her more into a hero. Did you see, have you seen the Harley Quinn, the animated series, the final season? Did you,
I saw it.
How she's like, you know, she's kind of like, she's becoming a good guy, but not really. I mean, I love how she's Bruce Wayne's therapist now because she knows the secret. She knows who Bruce Wayne is, Batman, but she won't tell anybody because patient confidentiality and all of that, you know. So I love that aspect of the whole show or whatever, but it's just like they're Harley and Ivy are definitely going to break up. You know, even though they went on their Murder Bang tour this year, they are definitely going to break up. And what about Sons of the Super Sons? Did you see that?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, you guys. That was
pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Superman's son and Batman's son. Save Superman and Batman. That was really good.
Well, with Harley Quinn, they have been doing that more recently, kind of turning her into an anti-hero or even just a straight-up hero.
Right.
Well,
I mean, part of it is that she's had to work with the Suicide Squad for so long.
Yeah, well, in the DCU, because it's no longer DCEU, it's just DCU. But in that universe or whatever, it's just kind of like they're gonna have to keep her with the Suicide Squad. Oh, because there's no way. I mean, she's killed too many people for us to be all like, yay, she can be a superhero and run around free, and you know, and fight crime away. It's just like no. No. The only way you're gonna be a hero is, you know, become the leader of the Suicide Squad, basically, you know, and that would be that'd be an interesting role to place her in too, because it's always some, you know, tough ass assassin dude that usually leads the, you know, Suicide Squad. I think it'd be more interesting if Harley was the head. Harley had to come up with the plan. It was just like, no, let's put you in charge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them figuring something out.
Did you like Black Adam?
I didn't see it yet.
I have yet to see it as well.
You guys and your hatred of the DC universe.
I just haven't seen any superhero content recently.
I felt bad, kind of like going to a Thursday night premiere of
Black Panther.
Black Panther 3 weeks later, and I hadn't. Yeah, I made the time to go see Black Panther, and I did not make time to see Black Adam, and I feel bad about it, really.
Black Adam was pretty good. It was definitely.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Thumbs up for DC. It was like, okay, this is not.
Did you guys hear that Doctor Who is going to be streaming on Disney Plus now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the home.
And I think supposedly they're going to be getting a bigger budget because of that.
Could be.
That's
usually
what I've
been
heard.
Like it's a BBC thing, and
yeah,
then,
I think it's still being run by the BBC now.
But I guess if Disney's giving them money to,
I think Disney's giving
on
money.
that platform, then they will have more money to spend.
Which I think that'd be a good idea.
Well, they want a better way to distribute the show, especially now that Jodie's gone and the fan hatred is, you know, ebbing somewhat, and they're bringing back David Tennant for like 3 episodes or whatever before the other guy is actually available.
Rumored to be 3 episodes.
No, they've already shot them. It is 3 episodes.
Cool.
Because the other guy, I guess, wasn't available until a certain time or whatever, and so they were like,
"That was a crazy."
What's his name? No. The guy that was doing the show before he left, before Chibnall took over and ruined the show.
Yeah, Davies.
Yeah, he's back, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do some stuff. So let's do some stuff." And you know, and Jodie was ready to leave, so it was just kind of like, okay.
And Jodie got her 3 seasons. So.
Yeah.
That was weird.
The most convoluted of all the whatever's. But I feel like it's not really him. I don't. If you watch the show, I'm just kind of like, she didn't want to go she didn't like, like his character, he didn't want to regenerate the first time, and so he was given extra time because of that whole hand thing and all that stupidity, and everything. And so she didn't want to go either. And so I almost feel like because of this whole thing that they've done with, the timeless doctor and all the blah, 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 that somehow it's still Jodie, but looks like David Tennant.
It was a weird regeneration, because the clothes...
because his clothes changed too.
Supposedly that's happened before.
Because when the Master took over, I was like, that's kind of cool seeing that character in the Doctor's clothes, and then he changed to a mashup of all the Doctors. That was kind of cool. There'll be cosplays of that guy.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Dressed up as Jodie.
I always found it amusing that the 10th Doctor, he had like the longest run on the TV shows because he had 3 seasons and a bunch of specials. But then in universe, the 10th Doctor was only lived for like 7 years. Because the 9th Doctor was 900 years old. I think near the end of his regeneration, or the end of when he regenerated. And then I think somewhere the 11th Doctor said that he was 907. So at maximum, 10 only got 7 years.
And 10 is
David Tennant.
Yeah, I know. But
it's probably why he didn't want to go, because he didn't. Compared to some of the other Doctors, he wasn't around that long.
Really? It seemed like he was on longer than
TV show wise, he was on a long time, but in universe number of years that he lived, he wasn't around very long.
Yeah, did he not have as many companions as some of the other?
No, he had a bunch of companions. He just wasn't around for a long time. Just because they've talked about his age. Of course, it's Doctor Who as well, so who knows on continuity.
Right, exactly. Especially when they bring him back when they look, when they do a 2-part episode or whatever, and they're like, look, there are 3 doctors in it. Here are 3 the older doctors, and all of a sudden it's like, when you died, technically in your regeneration, you looked younger. How is it that I am now seeing you and you look older? It doesn't make any sense.
At least with the companions they brought back, that made a lot of sense.
Yes. And I love the fact that they had a bunch of the companions come back or whatever. And I guess, what's his name? The scarf guy. I can't remember. Tom Baker. I guess he was offered a chance, but he was like sick or something and was unable to make it for the time. Otherwise, he would have been in it too.
Yeah, because he did one before.
Yeah, when he was the curator,
Yeah, the curator at the museum.
People are like, oh, that's the Doctor. I'm like, how can that be the Doctor when the Doctor regenerated into so-and-so and he looked so much younger than that?
I think that it was implied that it was the Doctor far off into the future.
Oh, a different regeneration.
Like way, way, way out.
Yeah, like it just turned back into David Tennant, so why not?
Yeah.
Well, if you ever really noticed this, if you ever watched the show like from the beginning or whatever, you'll notice like 3 episodes before the Doctor regenerates, what somebody in the cast in the show would be like, oh, that was the bad guy, or he was, the helper of the bad guy, whatever. It becomes the Doctor. You always notice you're like, hey, wasn't he? And they allude to that in universe. It's like, oh, I must have seen that face before or whatever, and so that's why I regenerated into looking like that, because my subconscious picked up on, oh, that's a nice face. I think I want that face. So, boom, when I transform, I have that face. Oh, look at me. I'm the guy from 3 episodes ago.
Well, a bonus of Disney picking up Doctor Who would be possible more Lego sets, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, they have deals with Marvel and Star Wars and Disney.
I wonder if it might be different because Doctor Who will still be run by the BBC, but I have a feeling
it's definitely different, but maybe it has more of a chance or a different chance.
Yeah, more of a chance than before.
And they can make historic locations too.
I would buy more Doctor Who sets.
Yeah, they They had a
They could
couple
build,
sets.
they could build space stuff and
They-
whatnot. But,
yeah, they
there's
could build.
a
They could
castle
build a
with
Dalek.
Daleks in it.
Yeah,
'cause
they
it's
can build
over
a Dalek
castle.
spaceship and
Yeah, Cybermen.
just like different things
And
that show up.
Historical locations. Be like,
artists.
look, here's Queen Elizabeth, the original one. Look, here's
Yeah.
famous people hanging out with the Doctor in a famous location. It's like, look,
Mm.
because you wouldn't want to have a TARDIS in every set.
Well, they wouldn't do a TARDIS every set, but I think just because if they started now, they'd have a whole bunch of TARDISes to do, so they could go and do every single TARDIS.
Yeah.
Because all they've got is like the 12th Doctors, I think.
The
right now,
interiors.
from
Exactly.
the idea
The
set.
interiors would all be different. They could build different console.
They could do like one a year, I think. And they'd all have to be different.
Yeah, because they all are, different. So
Because-
okay.
Yeah, but it'd be good. It would work.
I want the circles back.
more,
More circles. I want more circles in the control room, please.
yeah. I'll have to see if the TARDIS changes at all for David Tennant round 3.
Right, or if it's just going to be the
So,
same back inside.
If he's filmed those 2 or 3 episodes already, are they airing soon? Do you know? Or
They're supposed to air
2023.
one here, and one here.
Yeah.
They're supposed to like space them out.
Yeah, they dropped like a teaser at the end of the
so there is
last.
no new season. It's going to be like a bunch of specials.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a few specials, I think.
Yep,
And
the
then-
season will start.
It'll transition into a new season eventually with the
weird.
new Doctor.
With Fruity.
Yeah.
And I've only seen him in Sex Education. That's the only thing I've seen him in. So I'm just kind of
I haven't seen him in anything.
He's so young. I'm just kind of like, you guys do realize this guy's like 22 or something, and or whatever. Maybe that's what he plays in, on TV or whatever. Maybe he's older.
One of the
or
other guys
don't mind.
was Interview with the Vampire guy, right?
For what?
That Doctor Who, the vampire.
No, the Interview with the Vampire is the guy from Game of Thrones. The guy that was.
I thought one of the companions, or I don't know.
Oh, what? One of the new companions for the new Doctor? I have no idea who the companions are for the new
So
Doctor.
in that last episode, I was like, oh, because I tried to watch Interview with the Vampire.
Oh yes, that guy. Yeah, he had the hat on and he was running around. But yeah, he plays the eunuch guy. Not a eunuch, the warrior eunuch. What are those guys called? The Grey Worm. He played Grey Worm. Grey Worm is the guy that plays in the Interview with the Vampire.
Oh,
Yeah, the 15th Doctor will be he's 30 years old, the actor is.
Okay, so he just plays younger.
Yeah. I think that'll make Matt Smith still the youngest Doctor. Let me see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I would love more Doctor Who sets. I want Cybermen. That's all I want.
Oh, that would have been a great the bust like Black Panther or Cyberman bust.
Yeah, I want a Cyberman army.
mm-hmm.
I want what's his name? The guy that has half his cyber face.
Yeah, the lone Cyberman.
Yeah, he is as cool as Cyberman.
He
ever.
is the coolest. I'm so glad they brought him back for the latest episode. So nice to see him again.
Yeah, the Cybermen were kind of like boring, and then he appeared. It was just like, look, they're
Yeah.
cool again. It took 20 years, but damn. Just like I love the Daleks all the time. It doesn't matter how goofy they are. I'm just glad that there's finally special effects and whatnot. And they can finally go, look, we can go upstairs. I'm like, yeah, Daleks can fly. If you've ever read any of the comic books or whatever, it's just why the Daleks are a menace is because, yeah, they fly. They're in a flying hover tank. And I was just kind of like, that's made of impenetrable armor. It's like,
Yeah.
we're in the early Doctor Who. Quick, up the stairs. Haha. All we gotta do,
Yeah.
exactly. Daleks invade Earth. Everybody to the second floor. There, it's over. The invasion is over.
But no, you can't go to the second floor. They just fire at you with the spaceship.
Exactly. Yeah. Now.
No,
I
you
just
gotta
remember.
go to the basement.
Well, did you remember, like in what was it, Remembrance of the Daleks with Sylvester McCoy? The first time he's like, "Ha!" and he ran up the stairs. He's like, "I got you now, Dalek," or whatever. And all of a sudden, the Dalek's at the bottom of the stairs and it starts to float up the stairs. It was the greatest moment in Dalek history. It was just like, "Oh my freaking god, no!" Watching this show, it was just like, "Oh no, what's the Doctor gonna do now? Oh, it's over. It's over. They can climb stairs." But that was it almost canceled the show, that episode, because the guy, I guess he was told, this is how much you can spend on the show, and he spent twice as much. He just like, screw it, we're going for it. If I never work for the BBC, I don't care. I ain't making a cool Dalek episode whether they like it or not. And he didn't work for Doctor Who again. And he almost caused the show to be canceled just because it's like, where are we going to get the money for the next 3 episodes?
Yeah, I was rewatching today the final episode of the Little Daleks miniseries on YouTube, where they faced off against the green entity thingy and then later the mechanoids. That was fun. That was a fun series.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's called Daleks exclamation point.
Okay.
It's good. At least I thought it was good. There are 5 episodes.
It'll probably be good. I mean, if it's Doctor Who, you know.
Yeah.
And I watched Black Panther before I saw Wakanda Forever. And I was like, oh, I didn't remember that Claws had a claw. I was just thought it was just some idiot dude and blah, blah, blah. And then I watched him. I'm like, oh, that's right. He had a hand that fired off a sonic gun. It wasn't as cool as it could have been, you know, from the comic books. But we're not going to, I can see them going, a person made of living sound. Let's not go there. You know, how would we do that? How, it's just kind of like, no.
I rewatched it also on Wednesday. And before that, of course, I watched Andor. So I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with, what's that guy's name? The actor?
Which guy?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Oh, Andy
he's in
Serkis,
Andor. Yeah. And then I watched Black Panther and he's Claw.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. It's a little bit much.
But I was like, okay, yeah, that was good. I was like, okay. I was ready for it. So yeah, it was good. And the original Black Panther was just like, okay, I remember the reason I hated this movie or didn't like this movie because the stupid CGI battle at the end, which just brought you out of the whole freaking movie. It's just kind of like, oh, now we got to have this cartoon battle with 2 poorly formed CGI characters in a full CGI realm. Okay, all right, All right, finally, look, they're back to live action. Okay, now it's getting good. But yeah, that was just like, ugh. But the new one, I mean, they got the CGI down. I did, when Namor's flying around, clearly he's a CGI man.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else. But it was like, yeah, it was done better. It looked better. And I definitely didn't notice it was 2 hours, almost 3 hours long. Definitely did not notice that.
Yeah, they did a lot. It's almost like 2 movies.
Yeah, almost.
They could have probably covered more because the Ironheart character. I was like, man, this is a lot.
Yeah, I just felt like that was tacked on so we could introduce her,
kind of rushed, right? I mean,
yeah,
I like that she has Wakandan influence and knowledge like resources, I guess,
right, to help her make her other suit, for the show or whatever. So it's going to make a little bit more sense, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, the thing that the whole plot device was kind of like, you're the first one to come up with that. You're trying to tell me that Tony Stark couldn't have made that, while sitting on the toilet reading a book, oh, this would take me 3 seconds. Ta-da! There you go.
Or now that it's out there, couldn't somebody just reverse engineer what she had, just.
Well, the whole idea that it's out there, you can even do it. It's just kind of like, oh, well, here, let me just readjust the metallurgical device I already have that detects metals. Oh, ta-da! It's not going to be much it's not going to take that much in order to make something like that. It's just kind of like, really? Trying to tell me nobody thought of this until now? We didn't think of this in the 1800s, you know?
Yeah. Anyway,
And then the fact that the other part is it's just kind of like, really? And nobody's noticed? You're going to try to pretend like you were able to keep this? Okay. All right. All right. Okay. But I love the fact I almost felt like Okoye at that one point when she was wearing that black coat over her red costume. I felt like that was playing to the comic book trope of how supervillains or whatever just put on a hat and a coat and a trench coat. You can walk down the street in your supervillain garb and no one will notice that you're walking around. It's like Captain America could put on a coat over his shield that he wears on his back, and his back looks like his back. It doesn't look like a shield, in the comic books, even though we know he's got his shield underneath his clothes so he can, turn into Captain America in an instant. So I felt like they were doing that with her when she was wearing that black coat. I'm like, she just needs a hat. And Sherry's just looking at her like, this isn't going to fly. I thought, what? Nobody's going to notice. This is a comic book. It's just like, what?
I got sunglasses on. It's all right.
Exactly. It's just like, what? It's like Superman. I put on my, ta-da.
You have a bald head with tattoos on it.
Yeah, there's that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was good. It was interesting. But you're right. Like as far as like moving forward, it didn't really pull us into. God, there could have just been an after credits. They did nothing. Like they could have. Maybe that's what they cut. Is maybe there was a post credit scene of Doom, and they took it out.
Right, because I would think if they had something in like that, we would remove it because I don't want to take away. I don't want people anticipating Doom more than Kang.
Yeah. Plus,
because I think people are more interested in seeing Doom on screen than we are interested in seeing Kang on screen. Yeah. Even though Kang is cool and all of that, but he's not. He's no Dr. Doom. But the Quantum, have you heard the Quantum Mania leaks or whatever? Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Just been watching the trailers. I haven't been watching too many other spoiler shows.
I'm just afraid it's going to be a lot of them just standing around blue screens or green screens.
I've seen several memes where it's the three of them in the quantum realm, and then right under it is an image from like it was like Spy Kids or whatever. I don't know. Just comparing the two.
Yeah, because most of it's going to be most of the movie's going to be in the quantum realm, so it's just going to be them basically acting inside a green screen studio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
sure.
And so it's just going to be like, how well are they going to be able to remove the line so it looks like they're in wherever they are. Kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So it should be.
I feel like if we do get Dr. Doom during this phase, it won't be till the end of phase 5.
Yeah, because Dr. Doom he's going to be somebody that's going to require all of the superheroes in order to take down. Just like we're going to take all the superheroes to take out Kang. Yeah. And it took all the superheroes to take out Thanos. We need, a big overarching.
And then if Dr. Doom even does show up during this, what is it, the multiverse saga?
Right.
He won't like die along with Kang. He'll be around for a while, I'm sure.
But I almost feel like the whole Kang thing or whatever it's going to be what makes Dr. Doom be like, I was fine letting everything happen that's happened because Latveria is safe because it's under my protection, and we didn't get touched by the Sokovian attacks or any of that other nonsense and whatever. But this whole Kang thing or whatever has drawn my attention, and you superheroes are misbehaving or whatever, and I need to be in charge in order to stop these things from happening to our planet all the time. It's like you Avengers and your silliness. You guys are what caused, cosmic entities to even notice that Earth exists. So I must, Doom must protect the entire planet like I protect Latveria. So I must be in charge. So I'm going to have to beat down some heroes and be like, this is the way it is. I am Doom. I rule. Because another threat is coming because you idiots,
It might be a good way to end the secret war with Doom solving it or whatever, but gaining power.
Exactly. He's got to take, he's got to do like he did in the comic books and take whoever's power it is and be like, no, I have got all the power. I've sucked it up from whoever. I am now a super godlike being. I am Doom. Now what are you going to do? Of course, the heroes won't win, but we have to have that moment where he's all like, "Aha!" Just like I was so disappointed we never got the cosmic skull, the red skull with the cosmic cube, doing like he did in the in the animated or even in the comic books. Where he's just like, ta-da, I am the cosmic skull. I'm like, oh, but he could come back. He is associated with the soul stone and the blah blah blah. So we could get Cosmic King. Or cosmic skull.
Yeah, what happened to him now that the soul stone is no longer there?
I don't know. I always felt like he was just like a ghost or whatever. It was just so wherever the soul stone is now or whatever, he's there as its guardian.
Yeah, but if there's nothing to guard, then
well, it's the multiverse, so we have to get through. There's infinite skulls, so
yeah, that's true.
Right. Well, but just like the Infinity Stones, you might destroy them or whatever, but unless you destroy the entire universe, the stones will just reform because they are existence.
Yeah. In that universe. So I don't know. It's going to be either enlightening or more confusing seeing Quantumania.
Yeah, I just hope Kang wears the Kang suit. I want him to see him in the helmet and the whole.
I think because they're down in that multiverse. I think that'll be kind of they all got suits. They don't have to seem to wear them, but.
And Val seemed so much nicer than I. Does that make any sense? She seemed like a different character. She seemed I think
that's a play because that was like her ex. Ross was, I don't know.
It was just I was just kind of like, you're here, okay, and you're, I'm sorry, head of the CIA. What? I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess that's your cover for being the head of Sword. But whatever. But it makes more sense now. It's just kind of like, okay, so you would be the one, and the way she's talking and acting is like, you are forming the secret. You are clearly forming the secret Avengers.
Right. Yeah, she knew what was going on and she was playing him.
Well, that was obvious. Just like when she gave him a ride, I'm just like, oh my god, how many bugs?
Fake phone call
exactly. I'm like, you gave her a ride. I'm like, how many bugs did she just place on you and your car and everything else? I'm just kind of like, oh my god, you not realize who she is?
It wasn't menacing. You're right. Like it was. She wasn't menacing enough. So maybe they're, I don't know.
She seemed like a goofball, but just kind of like. Okay, how are you? You don't even seem like you're taking anything serious. It's just like, okay. But maybe it'll play into the next thing that she's going to be in. But it's just like, that's the weird thing. Is like some of these characters that pop, you're just kind of like, when will we see you again? What would we attach you to? Because these are not comic books. Because if they were comic books, then we'd know that, okay, Val is in, Avengers comic or whatever. So we'll eventually see her again in this comic. She'll be coming back, to advance her storyline or what have you, the subplots that go on in comic books all over everywhere. We would at least know where to follow and to, follow this storyline. This we don't, because it's like, there are no comics to collect. It's like each movie is its own, kind of a thing. And, so it's not like real comic book collecting where you can just collect just Captain America, and they attach and there's a crossover occasionally and that kind of a
it's
thing.
More of a big crossover.
Yeah.
They're movies, so that's why I like the Disney Plus shows. Is he had weekly content like comic books monthly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And some of the DC, I mean, that's why like the DC plays well on like on TV because I'm really enjoying the whole Stargirl with the Justice Society of America and all
well,
that.
Stargirl is ending. It got
Got
season
canceled?
3 is the last season. It got canceled after that.
Yeah, because it's like all of the CW shows are like that are on the TV that are superheroes. They're all kind of campy-ish, and serious at the same time. Kind of a, I don't know, kind of an odd kind of a vibe, which I think works for DC. Because for me, when I collected comic books, for me, Marvel, I always thought of Marvel as the serious comics and DC as not so serious because it's like everybody had some sort of idiotic, silly thing like, oh, look, kryptonite, green kryptonite, gold kryptonite, red kryptonite. Oh, my ring doesn't work on yellow. Then why doesn't Sinestro just wear a yellow costume? It's just kind of like, so it's like, to me, DC was just like, oh, that's for little kids. You're Batman, you're Superman, there you are. There, little kid, enjoy, yada, yada, So to me, that's why it works better. The CW, the whole campiness of DC works with DC, whereas Marvel couldn't do that. And that's why, for me, She-Hulk didn't really work because it's just kind of like, it's a Marvel property. Why are we trying to be goofy like DC does? Like the Legends of Tomorrow and some of those shows, they're kind of goofy. Whereas if you go to HBO Max and watch, your Doom Patrol is just like the dumbest thing. I can't. Just like it's just like this. It's nothing like the comic. It's just kind of like, what is this comedy show? It's just like there was the horrific. That's just not horrific. It's a comedian show. It's just like I don't how that even lasted. I don't know. But Titans is kind of okay, but I don't know. I'm just not digging it as much. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, it's I got caught up on Stargirl the other day too, so it kind of pissed me off when Courtney was like, she finally told the kid, who, like, just tell him who killed his father. What the? I killed him. Oh my god, come on.
And the whole Blackfire thing, I'm just kind of like, really? This is how we're gonna play this? Okay, all right. And their powers aren't even, man. That's the thing. It's just kind of like, because visually from the comics, it's just kind of like, I still don't get why they didn't paint her orange. Almost like,
because that would have been makeup every day, and that's more makeup, I suppose. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know, because Zoe has no problem being, green, but yeah. We can't be orange on the DC side because some actor in her. I'm like, really, recast. It's like cast somebody else, but
for Starfire.
Yeah, it's such a big departure for the character. It's just kind of like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
All
the CW DC shows are pretty much coming to an end. Flash is ending. Stargirl's been canceled. The other shows have been canceled except for Superman and Lois.
Yeah,
and
I always
they
feel
have
like it's because of that DCU, the revamp. Because those two guys are like, we're taking.
And then they have that Gotham Knights thing that is like that no one likes just based on the trailer because it's some random kid who's the son of Batman but didn't know that Bruce was Batman and whatnot. I don't know
if I heard of it.
Okay, that just sounds dumb. What about Pennyworth? Is that ending too?
I have no idea.
I don't even watch it because it was just like Gotham. I couldn't watch. I'm like,
I liked Gotham.
I can't watch it without Batman. No Batman. I'm not interested.
Well,
it's just like, who cares?
It was pre-Batman.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, Jim Gordon. Who cares, Jim? I've never been compelled by your character. Okay, ever. Even when Barbara got shot, and I was like, I just don't care. He's just Gordon. Who cares? He's the guy that flips the light on. Okay.
Now the villains were the fun stuff.
That was just weird too, because it was just kind of like history of
Early
Gotham. There wasn't
villain
there
origins.
weren't all of these goofballs running around
They weren't
before
super
Batman.
powered yet to fight
Before-
Batman.
Before Batman appeared. Batman appeared, and that's what caused all the goofballs to start to populate Gotham. It was just criminals. There were no people with goofy names and all of that other nonsense. It was like just the gangs that were taking.
Well, it kind of started out that way in Gotham anyway.
Mm-hmm. North
Bunch
Street
of-
level, yeah.
And then
but-
I think with the introduction of Hugo Strange, that's when everything went all monsters and weird stuff.
So you really need to change the name of that show to the Marvel Spoiler Show because you only cover Marvel. There's so much DC that goes down that you're like, well, I didn't watch it.
We did a Batman show. We did.
I mean, come on, Black
I mean,
Adam.
there wasn't much else to cover.
Harley Quinn, the end of
Harley
Young
Quinn
Justice,
animated.
20. I'm just like, you don't
Yeah.
even. It's like if Marvel could do animated.
You didn't
the
do
way
Young
DC
Justice?
does,
Didn't do,
No.
Black Adam.
it's just like the CW shows. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's plenty on the DC side to cover.
I don't know if you guys covered this while I was gone trying to get my computer to function properly, but did you guys talk about the Batman news
No,
with Kevin Conroy?
no.
He passed away, sadly.
And he's the guy that did the animated show, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that yet.
That passed away from what?
I believe it was cancer.
Okay. 'Cause I'm like, 'cause he wasn't old, so it's just kind of like.
Well, he's in his 60s.
That ain't old.
I mean, it's not the oldest he could have been, but
Right, but yeah.
Back
That's a lot of-
7.
That's a lot of blue. Is there a creature?
Yeah, so the boat is done, and there is a sea serpent next. Boat's looking good.
And that's the brick built
oh
sail.
yeah.
Yeah, right down to this just like little, roofed in little area here in the
Little
back.
cabin, yeah.
A catapult, like not a catapult, but a big crossbow, like a
Yeah. Does that actually function?
Yes, yeah, you can put a cylinder in there. And it did come with a rubber band to pull back on.
Oh, nice.
Well, this is covered in dust.
But yeah, all these flexy, stringy things going to the mast was
Look at mine,
they're not
Jesse.
really functional too much. Oh, look at that!
But this is the Mega Construct one.
Ah, cool.
Avert your eyes.
So back to Lego. Anyway, fun characters in there too. That was a big bonus for me. And then I got another side build. I have, the surface.
That's
build.
tempting.
And
It's
it's a
tempting
3-in-1.
now.
So if I didn't want the boat, I could build some other stuff. Pretty good.
In their house or something, it builds a cabin or something.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep the boat. Could have some uses.
And that's one of the only Mega Construct sets I have, just because they made the Viking boat so long ago, and the minifigures are so much more cooler Vikings
Mhm.
than the Lego minifigures. So they just look cool.
Viking minifigs are okay. This guy with the ruffles a little better. The prints on the torsos are good, but it's no printed legs. These guys need a little more character, I think, down there.
Yep. Well, just like some printing on the arms with like we're wearing chain.
Yeah,
Or
it's
I've
kind of cheap.
got tattered robe.
I mean, this girl got
patches on my arms.
unique hairpiece for this was great.
I was like Valkyrie.
Yep.
Could use those to make a bunch of Valkyries. Be like, here we are.
Or any D&D.
I do not. I do not like the hair over the shoulder because you can't make her turn and look at something.
Right. Yeah. The trouble with a lot of female hair is that it impedes the arms from going up to.
Yep, your arms going up, or you can't turn. You can't look very well. So it's kind of like, come on, I want to be able to look. Can I not pose myself to look? Or be like those people that like Mark hates that don't turn their head.
What do you know, Reed? We made it to 3 hours.
Yeah.
I still got a serpent to build, but
was the sun shining today, Reed? Is that why you had sunglasses on?
I just made the look good. I don't know. I can sleep and you won't know.
I just thought because you had them on the top of your head when you arrived.
He's planning on taking a nap.
You came in from outside, just didn't realize you had sunglasses still on your head.
Probably took a nap while we were talking comics.
I could talk to Ninjago. That'll help Reed fall asleep.
Did you see that?
I was sorting,
Roy Lord, I think it's Roy Lord, knew something. He thinks Ninjago needs to be canceled.
Who is this?
Daily Roy Lord or something.
Oh,
like
Daily
that.
Roy Lord.
Yeah, he was all like, he's like, the show needs to be canceled if they're going to bring back so and so. One of the villains. He's like, that villain had a good ending, or the conclusion to their storyline.
What they're going to bring back? Probably Nauticon. Yeah.
He's like, if they bring them back, the show just needs to end.
I think they
they brought back too many villains.
I think there was a hint that, like, in one of the books, he might be coming back in some capacity. But that's one of the books. It's not on the show.
It's time for a new villain that's not a snake.
Yeah.
Or a scorpion, or whatever.
It's Ninjago. We're always going to get a snake.
It's like, no. It's like he can have henchmen that are snakes. Be like, no. But it's got to be something else. It's like, look.
Well, I think they might be running out of villain ideas. That's why they always turn to snakes. It's a good default.
Return to the snake. Here we are, back to the snake.
It's familiar. I mean, the snakes are an integral part of Ninjago's history, but they are used often. I would like to see the original Serpentine tribes return rather than have us just deal with a new Serpentine every couple of years.
Yeah,
because the original Serpentine aren't even villains anymore. But it'd be nice to see them return in some capacity, more than just the brief cameo appearance that they had during Crystallized, where none of them spoke. Well, actually, it was barely any. It was like Scales and 3 Hypnobrai warriors, and that was it. Because they didn't want to make any more character models, I guess, for the current show.
Well, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an anti-Ninjago team.
Yeah.
An evil, they got...
Well, they had the evil ninja back in season 2, but that was only 1 episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we can bring Chima back. Chima could fight
and
Ninjago.
And the Crystal Council was, I think, kind of supposed to be like that. 1 villain for each ninja. Kind of rivals. But I don't know. I guess most of the Crystal Council actually survived. I think it was only Mr. F who got destroyed. He got a sign. He got a Dareth lawyer sign crushed on top of him. And it destroyed him. And then I guess the other villains survived and they'll be put in prison. And so they can return again if they ever want to. Although I don't ever want to see Asphira again. I got tired of that snake real early. I like seeing Pythor. He's nice to see. I want to see him take like a lead villain role rather than a secondary villain role where he's just following along with someone else's plan.
Is Pythor the purple one?
Yeah, but then he got bleached white.
What? Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And that's one that's got it's full on snake body, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
He just got arms.
Yeah. The mechanic and the Skull Sorcerer. The Skull Sorcerer was a nice villain, but I just see him becoming a minor villain now that he doesn't have the skull anymore.
And
he
was very cool. Like, he was very cool looking. That's all I remember about the Skull Sorcerer.
The mechanic only leveled up because he was helped out by Unagami, the video game. And it's possible he may fade back into obscurity. But he's just kind of, the mechanic's just kind of around. You know. And then Harumi is good now, so.
And did Clutch Powers return?
He was like, he didn't have a speaking role, but he was in the background. He's for whatever reason, he's been carrying around the Teapot of Tyron, which is the teapot that houses Nauticon.
Right.
He hadn't freed him, but there'd been like several references to it. And several references to him making wishes as well. But then in the background during Crystallized, Clutch Powers was in kind of the safe haven area, and then the show versions of Tommy Andreasen and Braggy, one of the writers, they jumped him basically, and then you see later that they have the teapot and they run off.
Oh, so you're saying the writers ran off with the teapot, so it's just like, there was a hint that hey, we might. Well,
those writers are gone now. They left Ninjago.
Oh well, maybe they left and they took that with them.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. They're like, hey,
maybe they're saying
we own the rights to that. We're out.
we don't need this villain to come back, so we're just gonna take it and make it go away. But supposedly Nauticon's gonna have something to do with a book in 2023, but we don't know if that book will even be canon to the show.
Oh.
It may just be one of those random adventures that they publish and doesn't have anything to do with anything.
So you're supposed to read books and comics outside the show in order to.
Well, there was the Garmadon comic, which you can read if you want to, but you won't be missing anything vital if you don't read it.
Okay.
And then there's like other stuff. There's other mostly non-canon stuff. I think really the only canon adventure that you would need to read is the Dark Island trilogy, and that's set between season 6 and Day of the Departed. So it's a while back. And that just kind of was just another adventure, explained what happened to Klaus, Shen's second in command, as well as how the ninja got all their vehicles in Day of the Departed.
Why don't they just assemble them from nothing? I mean,
no, someone else built them.
No, so usually they're just bricks laying around, and you just kind of like throw them together.
Now,
they've got a vehicle.
In universe, they usually explain. Lately, it's been Pixel who's just been creating everything. But like in the past, when the ninja have been poor, they've had to like get them from somewhere. Like they got them from Shen's Island in season 4, and from Cyrusborg several seasons.
Oh, Silas Borg. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how they got their vehicles in season 8. I'm assuming Pixel was building them by that time, even though they didn't know she had a body yet. I do like it though in the show when they explain what happens to the vehicles. Like the vehicles don't just disappear, they actually get destroyed. Because sometimes
they just get destroyed in the course of the story.
Yeah. Like all those vehicles that appeared in the latest wave, Kai's big red thing, Cole's car, Zane's jet, those all got destroyed. The versions as they appear in the sets weren't around for very long.
Mm-hmm.
They were only around for not even like an episode or two. Only Jay's bike managed to survive out of the 4 ninja vehicles. But they had like non-upgraded versions that, in my opinion, looked way better.
And nobody has this is my favorite car, and they rebuild it or anything? like you would in
Not
real
usually,
life.
no.
You'll be like, I love that last car. I'm
Like
gonna rebuild that.
occasionally, like Cole's Earth Driller returned during or like before season 10. I think Nia rebuilt it for Cole, but then it got destroyed in season 10. It got knocked off a cliff. Yeah.
They're always around for a purpose of the
Yeah.
story arc.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Willie.
Willie, you here?
The guy that made the show moved to Monday. I'm looking at you, Willie. I'm looking at you.
I saw Wakanda Forever Thursday night, Willie, so I'm ready to go.
In Bombay.
But I think Ninjago needs to have new characters, like a new team, a new core team. Maybe have like one or two of the ninjas stick around.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Consistent basis to mentor them. Like we had the whole Sensei Lloyd idea introduced at the end of season 5, and they explored that for a couple seasons. But I think after like season 8 or so, they just kind of forgot about it when Wu came back.
we don't need Lloyd as a sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's just kind of.
There should be a rival team that's taking over, and it should be all like.
Well, they had the new ninja in Crystallized, but
they should be like, no, there should be another rival team, and they do it better than the regular team, and then
that was the new ninja for a brief amount of time in Crystallized,
and just take over and just be like, they're the new ninja, and the show just goes on. It's like, no, you're not able to defeat these guys by becoming better. No, they are better. They are taking over. They are the new ninja. Bye.
Yeah. I just feel like we should see the ninja kind of move on. Have some of them retire and go do other things. And then this new ninja team happens. And then some of the ninjas stick around and train them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of age them up like the friends are doing. Friends are doing that.
And then the other ninja can have like the occasional appearance. But then like also just be doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit Hawkeye. Yeah, Cobra Kai. It's a bit like that. It's a bit of that kind of idea. Yeah, and then you'd have to get the villains to train newer villains, which I don't know how that would work in Ninjago. I think they just have to have new villains that just show up.
Yeah.
And then maybe Pythor just runs around calling them all lame. Yeah. Now that in universe it's been established that conflict and evil fueled the Overlord and his return, the ninja, I guess, are going to have to work hard to keep that down. But at this rate,
down the bad guys, it's like no matter what they do, it's going to bring back the Overlord down.
Yeah, the Overlord's going to show up in like another 5 or so years, probably. The next time they need to end the show. But I don't know how they could do the Overlord coming back any better than they did in Crystallized. Because it was kind of the ultimate villain plan, really. Creates warriors out of materials that the ninja can't use their powers against, assembles all the villains, has a big floating temple in the sky, and takes over the city. I don't know how he can top that.
Crystallized is pretty good.
I think the only way the Overlord could actually come back in a meaningful way is if he comes back and then ends up teaming up with the ninja to fight an even bigger threat. Which I feel like would have been the Oni if they hadn't been defeated by the ninja in season 10. Of course, we don't actually know if the Oni are really gone. The ninja just sort of did a big tornado, and I guess that destroyed him. It's assumed that they were destroyed.
They were sent back to their home dimension. No return.
The Oni were, they just kind of showed up and took over the city and then got destroyed at the end. I feel like there should be more of an expansion on them in the future. Because they were just kind of like, oh, we're this big powerful threat that destroy everything. And then they barely destroyed anything. They just froze everyone in darkness, shadow clouds. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about that, the destruction portion, the destruction they were literally destruction. And they didn't destroy anything. The only thing they destroyed was Cole's Earth Driller. And I think the monastery doors. No. Yeah. This is why I'm kind of getting sick of Ninjago. It's like, it's great, but it's the same thing.
Hmm.
It's the same. A bunch of ninja get an oversized vehicle. They don't do enough for the villains, and
Dang, boring ninjas. Gosh, they're so boring.
It's getting old for me, but that's probably because I've collected it for over a decade.
You need to fight some Chima ice bears.
Yeah.
Merge.
There'd be a real fight. I don't think they might not survive that battle.
I'd love to
Might be
see
the way to end
Chima
Ninjago, that's
return.
for sure. Well, there's some skunks, you know. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't be able to stand the smell of a skunk bomb. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly, Hawkeye. I think Zane and Pixel would stay, and I think Lloyd would stay as well and assume that mentor role. And then the others would go.
Maybe Lloyd's dad needs to come back into the picture.
No, he already did.
Come again?
Garmadon came back and crystallized. Taking care of a plant. And then he transformed into his Oni form and helped them fight the Overlord.
Maybe they just need to go to a parallel universe. Maybe, you know.
Yeah, but there needs to be
Maybe
more exploration.
Maybe they aren't as awesome as they think they are.
I think there's still like 5 or 6 parallel realms to Ninjago that have yet to be even identified. I think those need to be explored. Yeah, Hawkeye. I think. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think one of the ninja would have to die as well. I was gonna say Kai. That's how I kind of envisioned crystallized.
Darth Vader story. Somebody just goes crazy, drifts to the side of evil.
Yeah. I want them to do something different. I want them to take a risk because they don't. There were no stakes in this season.
And they explore a black hole and then just can't come back. Terrible.
No, they do need to explore the other realms. I think it'd be great if they went to Chima at one point.
Somewhere.
That'd be cool.
Somewhere
Maybe
they're going to run for their money.
I don't know if they'd even need to fight the Chima people. Maybe the Chima realm could get destroyed, but then a few of them may get over to Ninjago to fight a big threat. But again, there's still half a dozen realms that are just out there. So there's still plenty to explore.
All we need now is a giant rattlesnake sound right behind Jesse. That's the sea serpent. What's going on?
It's got some definite articulation here.
Yeah, the Beavers. Yeah, there was a Chima cameo in season 5. Lloyd and Moro were fighting, and they briefly went to the Chima realm, and that's kind of what established Chima as being in the one of the 16 realms parallel to Ninjago. And then they did appear in a season 11 episode. They were trying to Wu and Pixel were trying to get to the ninja, and they were just opening realms everywhere, and the Beavers showed up. Yeah. And then I think there was a beaver as well. There was a beaver that showed up briefly in one of the season 12 episodes. But that was just kind of in Ninjago City.
Making a comeback.
Never know, we could see Chima again. I don't know. All I know is that there's only a couple of the Winter Wave Ninjago sets that are for sure on my list. Everything else, it's kind of up in the air. Depends on what it looks like, what it's got. I'm pretty confident I won't be buying that $100 Zane Dragon. But we'll see. There's going to be hopefully there's going to be a new core bad guy. There's a weapons pack that leaked. I think I showed that the other week. But that doesn't necessarily mean we won't get the same old orange snakes that appeared this past winter. But I don't want to see more orange snakes.
Right.
Snakes! Why is it gotta be snakes?
If they do more orange snakes, that means I'm going to buy less of the core sets for the next wave. If they do a new bad guy, then I'll be motivated to buy more of the sets. But we'll see. I just know I'm getting that supposedly $80 J mech because he's the only ninja who doesn't have a large scale mech until now.
That new Mac is Jay's Mac.
Now there's going to be a mech in the winter.
Oh,
that'll be Jay's mech. The new mech right now is Nia's. Technically, it's Samurai mech, but it still counts.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Kai had his big mech, so did Cold, both in the movie. And then they had a combo one in season 13. Lloyd had one. Zane had a legacy one. So Jay's been the only one missing. But not for much longer.
Come on, Jay.
Good night, dude.
Later, Jude. Have a good night.
There's supposed to be some smaller stuff. There's going to be a Lloyd's mech duel for $20. That'll be interesting, I think. That one's also on my list, but it might go off depending on how it looks. But it's really only on my list because it might have the one villain vehicle of the wave, which is a mech.
Damn, I tell you, I can pretty much build anything with these Lego pieces these days.
It's going to be more spinners next year as well. People are theorizing that it's going to... Yeah,
see
we
my,
had the...
photo. See my photo with the juniors? We had like 12 different spinners all going at the same time.
I don't know if I saw that. Let me
I
look.
think I saw that.
I had the junior engineers build an arena, and we
Yeah.
built a bunch of pumpkins. And they all had Ninjago spinners going. It's 2 tables.
Yeah, I did see that. I just forgot that I saw that.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 Ninjago spinners going in there. I had them go head to head and all that, but they all wanted to kind of rumble. So I was like, all right, everybody all at once.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, so we got Lloyd, Kai, and Jay this year, and the theory is that we're gonna get Cole, Zane, and Nia next year to round out the set. Even though we got Zane's spinner piece in one of the other core sets, the Ninja Training Center, but no exclusive Zane minifigure for that. It was just a standard core minifig. Yeah, okay, that would be an interesting idea. And hello, Macro. Macro, you were here way at the beginning, so welcome back.
It's probably floating around. Yeah.
Not missed much.
Friday night, we're just kind of no Larry tonight, no Kevin Wagner.
No Wagner, no.
Nope.
There are like 8 live streams going on right now or something too.
Oh,
Are there?
What? No.
Are there really?
Really?
Can't be the only one on a Friday
I'm
night.
including this one. Mayo just finished, so that's one less. But
Shy Time's
including
going?
yeah, including this one, I'm seeing 3 in my subscription.
I see all bricks count. Shy Time. Shy Time is my time.
Can you guys hear the hallway?
Yeah. College life.
Yeah, they're out there. On my last day here at the dorms, or like the last day I see all these people, I'm gonna have to reveal to them that like some of their conversations and general loudness have been put on the internet. Yeah, I told them that I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't told them what it is. One of them asked, like, "Can you tell us part of your name?" And I said, "Jay." But that was obvious because in one of the games we played, I went by the name Jay Walker. So they'll never find
a good
it.
clue. So what's coming up on Good Morning Brick World?
It's a secret.
Oh.
Well, if you go over to the Brick Hive channel, you'll see an upcoming stream. Good Morning Brick World number 152. And that tells you in the description that the theme for the week, for this week's episode, is minifigures.
Okay.
It also tells you our guests will be Greg and Chef.
Oh yeah, Craig said he was going to be on.
Yeah.
London Calling was on earlier today. And Shot Time was there too.
I've just put at the bottom of the description. You never know what I might type down here.
All right.
It is part of the charm, Macro, of the icon.
My icon.
Colored
This
outside
was
the lines.
done. This was done by a YouTuber known as Creative Bricks. doesn't really upload anymore. I don't think. I don't even know if I'm still subbed to him.
Your eyes are so soulless.
I need to just take like a good photo. No, I am still subbed to him, and he hasn't uploaded in at least a year. He has a Discord, and I think some people are active on it, but I'm not one of them. So, but yeah, there's that picture. I do. This is kind of like the standard picture, I think, with my email that I linked to it. I need to change that actually. Let's see, I have Disappointed Zane, Out to Lunch, Tron, the Cone, and the Wet Floor Sign. I Ate Squid for Breakfast, Jay Freaking Out, Caution.
And why would you eat squid for breakfast?
It was a sticker.
Why would you eat squid at all?
It was a sticker I got.
Yeah. That is blocky AF.
The head's molded pretty good.
I like that head. The head on the boat is cooler looking.
Right?
was
Yeah,
like a-
you know, they
it's like
they
a
wanted
snake.
it articulate, so basically it's all mixel joints or whatever.
Looks more like a snake than a sea serpent. Where its fins. I mean,
Yeah, it's got fins on the ears of the head. The head's good. Otherwise, it's just the color.
yeah, it's just like, wow. It's just so blocky. It's like,
Here
I
come
would expecting more roundness. There are bricks that are rounder than that. It's just like,
Well, yeah, but they have to do a 3-in-1.
oh, okay.
So
yeah,
All right. That
Well,
explains the blockiness of the beast.
we'll test out the crossbow here. See if we can take out the serpent. Ooh, hit it.
You weren't really thinking that was going to work, were you?
I thought I would miss. It's
It's kind of like that moment in Black Adam when that guy pulls out that jack and he hits Black Adam upside the head with it, and it bends. He just looks at him like, "You really thought that was going to work?" Or like in She-Hulk when that guy, she just looks at him, she's like, "For real?"
all right. For real? Just what?
Let me backhand you until next Tuesday. It's just like,
Let's see here. I'll have to pose these guys all facing one direction.
so what's the print on the shield?
They're not printed.
Those are stickers on the gray circles.
no, those are just the quarter round tiles, 2x2 quarter round tiles.
Okay, it makes it appear like there's something there. It's not. Okay.
It's kind of like they did with the hidden side little spinny thing.
Right, but how can you hold that? Those are supposed to be shields on the side. Now put one in
Got
put
one
one
of
in-
those.
put one in a character's hand. Oh wait, you can't because they're not really shields.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the other two builds?
There's like a house, like an inn or something. Viking, kind of like abode. And then a big like wolf, like a dire wolf or a Viking, like
Okay.
Ragnarok or something.
Right, Fenris Wolf. The one that bites off Tyr's hand.
Yeah. But I like the ship. I'm gonna put the Vikings in here and take a picture, upload it.
So how many Vikings? 5 Vikings?
Four.
Four Vikings.
2 dudes, 2 ladies, or
Yep. there's a lady with the axe and a dude with the axe and a beard.
And the lady with the most generic hair of all generic hairs.
Yeah, this one's pretty generic.
Like, come
but
on,
the other,
come on.
the other one pays off with the winged
hat. But it's like the other one should have had ponytail. There's a ponytail or there's braided hair already. Because you know that a Viking lady would have a ponytail or a braid of some kind, not loose flowing hair, because it's going to get in the way. What are you thinking? So that's why everybody wears a ponytail back in the day. Just get that hair out the way.
Anyway, that was it looks like it's a boat.
It slides nicely. I saw you pushed it on the table. It kept moving.
Right, yeah, you got your...
It slides, yeah.
Yep. Slides pretty nice. It's stable for all that sandwich building, if you will. And the sail, sometimes a brick-built sail, it's kind of unique. And it you can kind of rotate it, but the strings kind of get in the way, but it's a little bit it's dangling there. It's good.
Okay, remock it rolled up.
4 and 1. Let's see the next.
Just like I expect you to redesign the beast. Be like, no, let me change the beast. And you get a brick-built goat, right? That's a brick-built goat?
It's like an ox, I think.
Oh.
Right? Next to a person, it's kind of small, so it's not quite a goat.
Yeah, it's definitely
more like a calf.
More like a cow, yeah.
Dinner.
Exactly. Keep it alive. It'll,
T-bones.
His butcher axe here.
Yeah. We don't kill it till we need to eat it.
Or the snake's gonna get it.
It stays fresher longer that way.
It's the bait for the snake.
Yeah, like the goat.
Gonna throw the goat out into the water. Watch it drown. Well, the snake didn't come. Well, we killed the goat. Cow. It's like, oh, good Lord. Doesn't come with a little boat to put the cow in. Where's the cow in a little boat?
I don't know where the cow goes.
It'd probably go in a little house, because I mean,
serpent's mouth.
Let me look at the picture, see where they position it.
Probably on the ship somewhere.
It's
their milk.
Well, in the house part, they have it on a cart. So why you build it for this? I guess you don't need the pieces for the other, so they just have you build it.
That's how you build it, just to build it. Like, hey, this is actually the star of the set in each one of the builds. You build this.
Everybody's got to have their road fluids. They're just gonna drink milk, I guess. Hey, that's their sports drink, for their.
And there's room for it in here. It's a big boat. How do I have the snake attacking it? Can it like wrap around the whole thing? It does look like it could like sit in there. Oop, nope, just rolled right off of there.
So can you turn the snake upside down so its belly can wrap around?
Oh, yeah.
That way it can be wrapping around the boat and killing Vikings at the same time.
Yeah, there's a.
Because otherwise, it looked like it was running. It was getting run over.
Yeah.
You need to have like inserts in the boat. You could just plug in the tail and the head on either side.
Oh yeah, there you go.
In the picture, it's kind of underneath and coming around, but.
Well, that's because they position it and just.
Right, it's digital. It's like we put the snake in the picture, and I put the boat over top of it. Ta-da! Look.
Look, it works. The kids will try to keep calling us. Hey, how do we do this? We couldn't duplicate it. How do we do this?
Right.
2 separate pictures overlaid each other, kid.
Well, that doesn't help. I need to do it.
You kind of put it in the boat.
It's like the
Another
snake.
passenger.
Exactly. He wants a ride. It's just like, damn, I'm tired.
Those Vikings are really nice with nature, I'll tell you.
They're just like...
That's how the snakes got out of Ireland. The Vikings came over. St. Patrick's like, yo, can you Vikings help me out and take all of these snakes out of here?
We'll put that guy over there. That's what we'll do. We'll do this. Serpent Viking. I don't know.
He's killing more Vikings.
Yeah, they're going overboard. They figure out a way to position the tail.
Olaf, what do you happen? Olaf, come back. Sven. Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Oh, because that cow is down there. Get him sitting on top of the cow.
It's in the belly of the serpent.
Yeah.
You just
There,
think-
now that should sit in there better. I broke his tail. There you go. Trying to do something clever with the tail. I still have him sit in there. Trying to get him to wrap around it, you know.
No.
Fail.
Hashtag fail. All right.
Punching on the sail. That's all.
Nailed it. This guy just goes right here. He nailed the serpent, but they're taking the dead serpent with
Back.
that. There we go.
Bringing it back.
They conquered the serpent, and they're tired of eating that cow. They're gonna eat the serpent.
Exactly. This is medieval times. We're gonna eat that thing. It looks delicious.
We'll put the axe guys on here. Go on there. Get ready to chomp this guy down.
The cow is so grateful. He's like, thank God. Thank God they cut the serpent.
Dead serpent. There we go. Story complete. That's all, folks.
Look at that belly cam.
You got to do the CSI joke.
Do the Santa laugh.
I'll do my exercises. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't know. I snack too much. You guys ready to end it?
It looks like you're taking over to end it. I don't know if you're gonna